The M.T.V.B. podcast presents The Commentary Corner. This show may contain swearing.
Hello, welcome to another episode of The Commentary Corner, the sideshow here from us here at the M.T.V.B. podcast. That's the podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects. That's movies, TV shows, video games and board games. This week's episode, we're going to go back to 1975 to do the ultimate classic, one of my favourite movies of all time, Jaws. And I'm joined around the couch by a bunch of guys that are here to commentate through Jaws. Introduce yourselves around that couch, please.
Hi guys, it's JK47.
Super Mario.
And H. And this time I decided to bring some bigger facts.
He literally has a book of facts, guys. A homemade book of facts.
We're going to need a bigger sofa.
We are.
Definitely.
And I thought we were going to need bigger facts on this one. But yeah, I think we're just going to let Howard... Let's call this the Howard Corner.
H's Corner.
H's Corner. Hey. But, yes, so Jaws. Everyone a fan of this? Obviously, one of my favourites. Is everyone likes it around here as well, I take it, yeah?
You cannot not be a fan of Jaws.
No, of course not.
It's a staple, I think, of everybody's viewing pleasure. And, I defy anybody to sit and not enjoy it.
That's true, yeah. Should we just get it started? Or
Let's watch it.
Let's do this then. So, obviously, guys, this is designed for you to follow along with the movie. We are watching the 4K version of it on Sky TV. I believe it's on other streaming services in the meantime. Or if you've got the Blu-ray disc or the Blu-ray player, press play on that player now. So, I think we can start with, obviously, how iconic this is without its iconic score, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without that, yeah. The film itself is just immense. You know,
I mean,
it's one of the few films where there's not a good guy or a bad guy. I know the shark is supposed to be the villain, but he's not technically the villain.
It's just a shark doing what sharks do, right?
Exactly that, yeah.
He's an incidental character.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I think we better start off with, it's 1975. John, how old were you? And did you see this at the cinema?
I was 11 and no, I didn't see it.
No, not even a hooky copy.
No. Probably did eventually see a hooky copy, but I was only 11 when they come out, so it would have been a few years later, I would imagine.
Got to watch it on
and we've gone straight into it straight away. The iconic theme straight away.
Yeah.
The slow pace, and it's building up, obviously, with the iconic two-note music score from John Williams.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting question. Would the film work without the score?
No way.
No. I think there's something to it, isn't there? It builds too much. It's like... For the way the shark is, I think you lose something without the score.
I think you do, yeah. And obviously the big reveal towards the end with the shark, but it's the momentum that builds and builds and builds through John Williams' score. It just hits home every single time. Such a simple piece of music. But it's much like Alien. Alien, you don't need to see the creature, but the music that's sitting alongside that tension and
the sounds in the background, everything just pops to it.
All you need in order to literally.
And you see this scene now, all these teenagers and whatever, they're on the beach. But this film was never meant to be a summer blockbuster.
No?
It was originally supposed to come out at Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I can think of nothing more Christmassy than Santa Shark.
Yeah. And
Shark.
due to various strikes or delays and whatever, it ended up coming out in the summer, which I think suits it better because it's summertime. They're all out on the beach.
Yeah, and I don't know if Howard's got it on his many facts.
Go for it.
But this was the movie that kicked off the summer blockbuster, wasn't it?
It was.
That was the one that pretty much
Yeah.
defined summer blockbusters, and we've had them ever since.
Yeah.
Well, nearly 50 years ago now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I mean, had this actually come out at Christmas, then would obviously something else?
It wouldn't
have had to
I don't think
have
it'd been
done
as popular, surely.
No, probably not.
I mean, you release it summer, and it goes with the theme of the 4th of July.
I think, I think as well, if you release it in Halloween, it kind of works.
Yeah?
If you're going at like seasonal and Christmas,
but not Christmas.
No.
Look, in 4K, you can actually see the tits.
I know I'm pretty much saying this every time now, but this is so clear. I don't think I've ever seen Jaws like this.
This clear, no way.
I don't think I have either.
I mean, what was all your experiences first watching it? I mean, mine was on BBC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I
Back in terrestrial TV,
Yeah,
where
same.
obviously the
Yeah,
digital quality's not
terrestrial.
great. So
I honestly
Saturday
can't
night
remember.
movie.
yeah, exactly, mate. It was either Saturday night during Christmas or Easter or a bank holiday or some sort, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
this wasn't a VHS. This was definitely BBC One, maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
And we recorded it. We recorded everything, but
Yeah.
that was the very
Yeah.
first experience.
I remember my copy of it. The recorder used to start a little bit before you set the time for. Do you remember on your VHS?
Of course, yeah.
So
Don't wanna miss it.
the beginning of my VHS copy of this has the ending to an episode from Last of Summer Wine.
Amazing.
What, you
the one with a tin bar.
They take from there and went to there.
Oh, okay.
And that used to be on like 6:30 at night or something like that. So this
bloody
went
hell.
straight on afterwards.
So shall I unleash the full power of the first fact?
Yes,
Is it
do
about
it. Go
her
for it.
by
Let's
any
have it.
chance?
It is about her.
Is
yes.
it about
Whoa,
that she
you
wasn't
can
actually
really
an
see that.
actress?
It was partially about that. So
Okay.
it's pretty much about the scene itself. This took 3 days to shoot.
Yeah.
So as you can see now, the actress Susan Baclini, she's been jolted to and fro in order to imitate the motion of being dragged about by a shark. They had her on a harness with cables,
under the
and
water.
literally
Pulling her.
Yeah.
they were literally yanking her from side to side.
And she didn't know which direction they were going to pull
And
her in.
they
which
never
is why-
told. They never
didn't
told
tell
her
her,
when
yeah,
they
so-
were going to do it.
So the look
So
of
that's why she
fear
gets
on
that-
her face
yeah.
is
genuine
genuine.
fear.
But how effective does it look?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
love how Spielberg doesn't, again, like how I said, you don't see it. So your imagination is running
exactly.
wild.
Your imagination's already thinking.
Like this mammoth of an animal,
I mean,
or a fish,
It
whatever.
could be a
is
shot.
like-
It might not be a shot. It doesn't matter at this stage. You just know that something horrible
Something's
going on
grabbed
there.
her.
So can I ask you guys, because I mentioned this in season 1, where one of my guests on the show called this a horror film. Now, I never saw it as that because it's been rated PG ever since it came out in 49 years ago. I always kind of saw it as a drama, maybe a thriller, if you will. But a lot of people class this as a horror.
I think it's a
addressed
monster
this
flick.
Yeah.
Or monster flick,
I
okay,
would
yeah.
go, I would go that. I think it's still in the kind of. It's got the screams and it's got the
Yeah.
jumps. It's got the stuff
Yeah.
of a horror film. But
But you got so much dramatization
but-
with the characters
Yeah,
and
We
the character
addressed
build
this
of it,
before
right?
in another episode, didn't we? Where we said that a film can be multi-genre.
I mean,
Yeah. And
You can't-
this film definitely
I wouldn't
defines
label it as a
multi-genre.
horror film, but it has got horror.
it's got the elements,
scary
isn't it? Yeah.
vibes.
I'm inclined to agree with John. I think it's also got thrills. It's got tension.
Yeah,
So
it's a
more
thriller,
like a
horror
thriller, monster horror.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is multi-layered. Yeah,
Nice.
totally agree.
Also, very quickly, I remember doing a pub quiz years ago, and it said one of the questions was, "Do the Brodies own a dog?" You just saw it.
And
Go,
the dogs, there's 2 dogs.
Oh, there's 2.
There's 2 dogs, and they're Steven Spielberg's dogs.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Howard, he's beating you at the moment, mate.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
No, as things come up.
We've got 2 hours to go, mate.
Yeah. Also,
as long as we don't
and-
touch on Sequest DSV, we're all good.
No,
But we're all
exactly.
good, yes.
Yeah.
No one needs to.
Deep Sea Voyage, was it?
I can't remember. It's
Deep Sea
just called-
Voyage, yeah.
It was Deep Sea Voyage, yeah.
Sequest DSV.
Sequest, yeah.
But the poster for the film, right,
Hmm.
was not made for the film.
Oh, really?
It was made for the book.
Oh,
Yes,
of
I
course.
remember. I had the book.
But they liked the picture so much that he used it for the
But can we
the
just
movie.
talk about that for a moment?
Yeah.
Like, how iconic is from the soundtrack, the poster as well.
Oh yeah.
As soon as someone sees it, you instantly know that's
Jaws.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, and you're sitting there
I
with
just
the
love the
Jaws
clarity.
poster on your
Exactly, yeah.
T-shirt, yeah. And I, again, unless you're of a certain age, I don't think there's a person on this planet who wouldn't instantly
Exactly.
recognise.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't
you
say
don't
Jaws.
even need the word Jaws.
No,
You
just
see
the
that
picture
out, couldn't you?
with
Yeah.
the swimmer,
You know what
and
it
you
is.
know.
And it's the same with the music. The 2 notes, people even if
Yeah.
they haven't seen the movie, they know that's a
Yeah.
Even
It's
shark
It's
film.
but even before you see the film, you know that that's the tune to
Yeah,
Jaws.
absolutely.
And I've already said it. This is a beautiful picture. This,
Yeah.
mate, this 4K.
Yeah.
It's pretty good,
It's
isn't it?
really popping,
Really
yeah.
good.
I also
Really
really
does
want
pop.
his Ford Bronco as well. I know
Yeah.
we were
I must-
chatting in the group the other day about vehicles. I think
Oh, you'd put that in the category.
his
yeah.
Ford Bronco is probably underrated, but then I just like Ford Broncos. So
What I like about his Bronco and the general appearance of Brody anyway, does it remind you of a recent 80s based TV series of a particular sheriff who looks a particular way and drives a certain vehicle?
it does a little bit. He does have a reminiscent look
Yeah.
to him. Of,
I think that was all deliberate because obviously Stranger Things
Speaking
is
of that,
borrowing.
he's got Hopper's hat on
Yeah,
there.
he's got Hopper's hat on. Yeah. So obviously Jaws is adapted for Peter Benchley's best-selling novel of the same name, and like you've rightfully said, the cover, the poster came from the cover of that book.
Yeah.
But the book itself is based on a series of attacks that occurred off the coast of New Jersey in 1916. And after an incident where a New York fisherman named Frank Mundus caught a £4,500 shark off the coast of Montauk in 1964.
Wow.
I mean, it's scary to think that, we look at the size of that shark, but there are creatures like that swimming in the sea.
Yeah. And bigger,
And bigger.
probably.
And bigger. There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
Hey, episode 1, baby.
Oh, that film.
Hey, right. That's punishment, Matt. Right? We're going to make you go through that now.
So we think about the film and we think about the title, Jaws. I mean, it's perfect, but Benchley wanted to go with The Stillness in the Water, Silence of the Deep, Leviathan Rising, and Jaws of Death. Would it have worked?
No.
No, I mean, I think it would have tainted the movie, maybe, because it's, those old horror films, like
the old 50s B movie.
Yeah, like,
Dracula,
Merchants of the Deep or something like that. It sounds very reminiscent of that, doesn't it?
Or Plan B from Outer Space.
Shark Attack.
Has anyone ever been to Martha's Vineyard at all? Or anything?
No.
Never been to America, mate.
But I have another fact about Martha's Vineyard.
I know, that's a story.
Do you know what? It's on my bucket list.
Oh yeah, I want to go.
One of the places I've always wanted to go to.
But Martha's Vineyard wasn't meant to be the setting for Amity Island.
Oh, was it not?
No, he was meant to be going to Nantucket Island.
Nantucket.
But there was a storm, and they put it in at Martha's Vineyard instead.
Right.
And when the storm cleared, the guy liked the look of Martha's Vineyard more, so they brought the film to Martha's Vineyard instead.
Oh, okay.
Does look very picturesque.
It does, yeah. But I've never been to Nantucket Island, so I couldn't tell you if Nantucket Island would look any better. So
Just to add to what John was saying there, production was shot on location in Edgartown, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts.
yeah,
But I love how it's the walk into town. You get to see all the shops. You get to see all the people of the town and stuff and whatnot.
And all genuine locations.
Yeah.
Virtually nothing was built for this film. They used people's houses, people's storefronts.
And I think that's what gives it its feel, the movie's feel to it.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Well, the only thing that they built for this film was Quint's shack. His, where he boils out his shark heads and things like that. That was the only piece built for this set.
I just love the clarity of it because having seen it a few times now, it's always been a bit grainy because of the
the age of the
VHS
film
or whatever.
For a nearly 50-year-old movie, come on, Universal has done a pretty good job with this transfer.
So to see it on 4K now,
I want that jacket. I've always wanted that jacket, and I love the fact that the board game has that jacket pattern in the box.
It does.
It does. You open it up and it has that pattern inside it.
Yeah.
I love Roy Schneider as Brody in this film.
Yeah.
I just love him as an actor. I think he's fantastic.
An awesome actor, but he's so... And it's not just because we're watching this film we're talking about, but I always, whenever I think about iconic characters, I always think of Brody.
Yeah.
It's just really intense the whole way through. Like he never lets up on this almost parental thing for everyone on the island. Like this
and it's
this
down to his
worry and care,
characterisation. But also, I think the character itself, he's so... There's a little bit of grey. He's not always black and white, but he's so moralistic, and he fights the whole time against the mayor, against the town council about what was
because
right and what
don't
was
forget
wrong.
he's the stranger of Amity
Yeah,
as
he
well,
is,
isn't he?
yeah.
He's a newbie to the island, isn't he?
Absolutely.
So I love how he's still sort of learning through this film as well, like getting to know people and stuff.
And the politician is obviously he's more interested in the tax dollars and stuff. So
the money.
Did anyone ever do the ride? Jaws ride?
Yes, I
did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This on this little boat thing always reminds me of going on that ride.
Yeah.
It's them where they really over dramatise it, and they're like, "Oh, we got one barrel on,
That's it,
Where's it gone? Where's it gone?"
So this little scene here where he's talking to the town council, as it were. I mean, obviously, as we progress through the film, we realise that he's under pressure to keep the beaches open for what is about to happen. In the book, each one of these figureheads is kind of owned by the mafia. and it comes down to a matter of money within the book.
Ah,
keeping
okay.
those beaches
So there's a
open.
difference between the film and the book there.
Little bit, yeah, and it kind of gives it, I think, a little bit more credence as to why they pressure Brody in order to make those decisions.
Yeah, because they're dependent on it for tourism, aren't they? In this one,
but ultimately, it's down to the money being generated through crime.
Yeah. I'd imagine there's quite a few differences from the.
By all accounts, the book is a
and the
completely
film.
different sold story to this.
It is, and I can elaborate a little bit later if you like.
Did
When we reach that page,
a couple of years ago when it had its 40th anniversary, do you remember someone tried to do a Patreon for Alex Kittner?
Oh, no, really?
Raise funds for him.
oh my God.
But only the diehardest of Jaws fans got
Really
that
got that.
reference.
Well, so what's funny about this is Kittner. So he's a 10-year-old boy there, and he's the second victim of the shark. He was played by an actor called Jeffrey Voorhees. Now we all know about
Voorhees.
Voorhees.
Dum dum dum.
And Mrs. Kittner, who we see a little bit later on, many years later, she was in a fish restaurant in Martha's Vineyard, obviously where this was filmed. Saw an item on the menu called Alex Kittner's Shark Sandwich.
Oh, amazing.
And told the waitress that she was Mrs. Kittner in Jaws. The waitress left the table and returned a little while later with Jeffrey Voorhees, who appeared from the kitchen because he owned the restaurant.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And they hadn't seen each other since this film had been made and spent hours together and were lifelong friends ever since.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
Do you know about this character at all? Harry.
Elaborate.
No.
Oh, Bad Hat Harry.
Yes.
It's Bad Hat Harry.
Yeah. And do you know who...
Go on, this is your fact.
Oh, do you know it?
I do, but it's
All
your
right,
fact.
so we shouldn't really speak his name because he's been a naughty man recently.
Well,
but Brian
I know.
Singer,
Brian Singer,
who
he's
made
made some
X-Men
amazing
and-
films, yeah.
Yeah, he's like X-Men and
obviously-
Usual Suspects and stuff.
It's his production company.
That's it, yeah. Bad Hat Harry, isn't it?
Bad Hat
Productions.
Harry.
That's
And
right, yeah.
I was always a big fan of House with Hugh Laurie.
Yes.
And at the end of each episode of House, there was
It
a little
says,
animation. Yeah, because
That's
it was
it.
a Brian Singer made program.
Yep.
And you'd have the guy there with his hat, and the Brody type character would say, "Oh, the other guy was saying it's a Bad Hat Harry." Yeah, boo, boo, Brian Singer, boo.
And the dog we've seen going in the beach every now and then is referenced in other shark movies quite a bit, isn't it?
Yes.
The whole Pipit thing.
Yeah. It's a Bad Hat Harry. Thing is, I'm with Brody on this one. I have not set foot in a natural body of water since I was about 9 years old.
Because of this movie?
Because of this damn movie.
And I would think that's how a
Weird
big an
fact.
impact
Do
it
you know
was.
who else does that as well?
Who's that?
Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith has said that this film is the reason that he does not swim.
Bloody hell.
Could you imagine? I mean, I would assume it's affected a lot of people. I mean, I have a
yeah.
fear of water, but you know, I'll still go into the water, but I wouldn't be like,
more than this film. It's that bloody poster.
yeah,
It's
true,
that poster,
yeah.
mate.
It's things
It's
like
the
this.
deepest waters
Yeah.
I'm worried of. I'm scared of. Sort of
If
thing.
I can't see it, I'm not going in it.
One of my ambitions is to swim with sharks. It's probably the
Yeah, like the cage shark.
yeah,
shark
it's
cage
probably
thing,
one
yeah.
of the stupidest ambitions in the world to have. Oh no!
I believe they were actually meant to have a shot of the shark actually
Yeah.
eats.
But you
see
kind
him
of
eat
saw
Alex.
something there, but
Yeah.
I just didn't.
I think
But it's cut
Get
quite well.
the-
I think
to
it was
like,
a very
that-
early decision not to show it in order to increase the tension
Yes.
and to keep you watching and wondering.
An hour and 21 minutes before you see the
Is how long it was.
shark, apparently.
is it really?
Do you know other villains you don't see? Other people you don't see. Sorry, for an hour and a half in a film.
Sorry.
Batman in the 1989 Batman film.
Oh, wow.
Batman doesn't actually appear.
No, you're right. In full.
In full.
In full, yes,
You
definitely.
see the
yeah,
shadow.
yeah, that's
you,
right.
you see like wisps of him right up until the last second.
That so needs to be commentary cornered. I
Yeah.
want to do that movie. Michael Keaton forever,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
And you hate the soundtrack, but I really like the soundtrack.
No, I like Danny Elfman, but I
You
can't
hate
stand Prince.
Oh, I love the Prince.
I've never been a fan of Prince.
That was one of the soundtracks. I had 3
Bat
soundtracks on
dance, for
repeat.
fuck's sake.
But I had 3 soundtracks on repeat,
It's-
and it was that one,
Was it really?
Ghostbusters 2,
Okay, that's fine.
and Top Gun. 'cause
Nice. Yeah, makes sense.
Why wouldn't you?
Of course.
Howard, this chap in the moustache, I believe he's a writer on this. He was one of the writers on the script for this movie.
He was. I will refer to my notes and come back to you on that one. But yeah, he appeared alongside Peter Benchley, the writer, and the main writer of the story, because he's the script writer of the film.
Right.
From what I understand. So Benchley appears a little while later as the news reporter.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We were just talking earlier about how clear it is. That guy's corduroy jacket is like crystal. I can't
Is it
explain.
jumping out at you?
Yeah, but also when we saw the mayor's jacket a minute ago, I didn't
You can actually
realise.
see the stitching in it.
I was about to say,
can't
I didn't realise that each of those anchors is embroidered into
you?
the
Yeah,
jacket.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
How
not
is
a-
it
it's
still
not
in
a
fashion
print.
50 years later?
Mate, well,
Why are you dressed like Del Boy? That's all I got.
I like it when they talk about, they might have to shut down.
Yeah.
And they say, it's only for 24 hours. And in the background, you hear someone going, 24 hours is like 3 weeks.
Carl Gottlieb.
That's it.
Is
that's
that guy,
that's
yeah.
it. I knew it was
Yeah.
Cole something.
He's Mayor Vaughan's right-hand man called Meadows.
And then we're going to try and use shark spotters on the beach. Are you going to close the beaches?
Yes, we are.
Now, I was having a discussion about this film, because I watched it not so long ago. And the majority of people that you can see are in their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, there's no youngsters there.
But because it smacks me now of how well we live, because the majority of these people look like they're in their 60s.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And here come an introduction to a great character now.
It's one of the best.
This has been troped so many times as well.
It's parodied
It's
so
so
much,
good.
man. It's unreal. I love it. I love this scene. Quote this full on as well. Remember we used to do film quotes to this. Yeah. I'll catch this.
I love the picture of the shark.
Yeah.
On the
I actually have a T-shirt with that.
Oh, really?
From the
amazing.
board, yeah. Swallow your hole. Gal's mum, swallow your hole. Yeah. He ain't going to listen to this
ain't gonna
episode. It's all
listen to
good.
it.
He's not going to know.
He's not on the show, so he's not going to.
He's not going to know he's swallowing his mum's hole.
Oh, I think I'm going to be a bit sick.
For that, you're definitely going to need a bigger boat.
So do you know many other films with Robert Shaw in?
No.
Because
The
I
only
really
one that
liked...
I really know him from and enjoys The Sting.
Right.
So he plays like the Irish gangster in The Sting.
Because I forgot he's in Russia with Love.
Yeah, he's in
Yes.
quite. He's done quite a few
but
films.
Yeah, it's Red Grant, yeah.
But the other film I remembered him from as a kid was the original Taking a Pelham 123.
Oh, right, okay.
He plays the
what
bad
a-
guy.
I've never seen the
What a
original.
Have you not? It's
No.
really good. Walter
Oh,
Mattau's in it as well.
There's a film for Commentary Corner. Maybe next year.
Well, Taking a Pelham 123.
Yeah, the
mate,
original.
100%.
The original.
I mean, Robert Shaw was brilliant in James Bond, but obviously his character doesn't say anything.
No.
No, it's right.
Red Grant is
Yes.
in you, isn't he? Or he just simply doesn't speak.
But Robert Shaw, right, and his wife, he had a manservant.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
a manservant. Okay, yeah.
Butler, whatever. I don't think he wasn't called a butler. I think he was actually called a manservant. But
A retainer.
He had a house on the island. Obviously, I think a lot of the actors did. And the neighbour to the house they were staying in used to take pot shots at the house because it was empty.
Right.
So the day they moved in, they moved in like in the evening time, the neighbour didn't know they were in the house, so he's shooting at the house.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
His butler or whatever got up
mansion.
and had his robe and his slippers and walked out and basically had a right go at the guy. And the guy was all apologetic and so sorry.
Yeah.
He said there hasn't been anyone living in that house for years and all that sort of thing. Yeah.
Wow.
So this guy was shooting at him.
So we talk about the scene where Quint was just introduced, and we love it. It's
Yeah.
brilliant because it's iconic. Early drafts of the screenplay had Quint introduced whilst causing a disturbance in a movie theatre. The film that was on the screen was Moby Dick by the director John Huston.
Okay.
The scene was shot. They went through the whole thing. It was going to be included, but Gregory Peck, who played Captain Ahab in the movie, held the rights to that film and refused to let them use it in Jaws.
Oh wow!
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's how that scene came about. And from what I understand, it was a little bit of an ad-lib from Robert Shaw himself.
Yeah, he was in Force 10 from Navarone as well.
I love how she changes her tone as soon as she looks in the book.
Yeah.
She's like, no, that you get.
Yeah.
Sharks do attack boats.
Well, logic takes over, doesn't it?
God, he was in a lot of films.
But do you
I've seen most of
so
them.
do you know what the tagline is for this movie? Now, it's not just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, because that was the sequel.
Yeah.
But does anyone know what because me and my wife had movie tables for our wedding. So we had a Die Hard table, Back to the Future table, and it would have the poster in the middle. We'd
And the
make it
tagline
up,
from the poster.
and we'd have to find the tagline. Now, I spent ages trying to find out what the tagline was, and they only give it away in the trailer. And it's so weird, because I thought it'd be something to do with swimming or death or whatever. And it's like, the tagline is it's as if God gave the devil teeth, and it would be Jaws.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
And how weird is that? It's like, I've never heard that. But if you watch those trailers, it's on there.
It's in that.
Wow. Oh, these two idiots.
Oh yeah.
And this is another great way of not showing the shark, but using something else to indicate it's there.
Which they've
Wow.
done really well here with each of these little sequences.
Now, I think of a more recent movie. What more recent movie kind of recreated that a little bit by not showing the monster? Godzilla.
Where the dock blows up as he's coming towards the shore.
Oh, of course,
In the
in the
Matthew Broderick
98 one,
one, yeah,
right?
the
Yes,
Broderick
of
one,
course, yes.
Bit more epic, obviously, but
Yeah,
similar.
but you
in
don't
its-
see it like the because the whole pier just
You
blows
see
up,
the
doesn't it?
slight bit of the fins pop
That's
up,
it,
and
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well created. That was great. There were some great teasers back then.
Yeah.
Oh, there was. We just recently we were discussing about has the blockbuster had its day, and I think that's part and parcel of it. That kind of storytelling, that tease for the big blockbuster, it's died, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's social
We just
media.
don't do it.
Social media's killed
I-
it.
It has,
well,
yeah,
I
a
think
little
there's
bit.
that, but there's also the I want to be first kind of aspect. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the other thing that's taking it. Like you wouldn't normally see a trailer till it was either on TV or in the cinema.
Yeah.
As where now you can just like the
It's on YouTube or whatever within minutes.
But doing the old the Super Bowl. Do you remember the Super Bowl trailers? We never used to get the Super Bowl trailers in the UK.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
And now you can just as soon as they're shown on TV, you can go straight to YouTube and watch them.
They're on there.
I like the Deadpool
the
and
mystique
Wolverine.
is gone.
Yeah,
that's what I used to love. And it's not
Deadpool
just,
and Wolverine at the minute is everywhere.
Oh, God,
and it's just I really want to see that.
I want to see it.
bit
Too,
where-
so I'm
where-
not watching. I'm purposely
No,
not watching trailers.
I love this bit where the
I
little
turn
bit of
the
the
trailer.
jetty just
Yeah.
turns as he's swimming back to shore.
Yeah, it doesn't actually indicate that the shark is there. It
No,
could
it
be just
doesn't.
like the tide bringing it in.
Brilliant. I
But
mean,
your head is thinking that's the shark
The
underneath
menace
that.
of this inanimate object is turning and making chase. It's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. And married up with John Williams. John Williams' score again.
And I love it. It's literally just the original music, but faster and faster and faster. And it just...
The sole notes for this piece of music are E and F. Repeated.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Did he win an Academy Award for
I
it?
think he did. And this was only the second time that John Williams worked with Steven Spielberg. The first one was on Sugarland Express.
Yes.
Okay.
But then, obviously, it was a Marriage Made in Heaven after that, because virtually every single film
Popeye.
was...
Wasn't this guy an actual resident of...
They used a lot of
Popeye's granddad.
He must be
Popeye's
because he looks directly at the camera there. If you look, there's
Yeah.
a very slight pause.
It's like
as
he
sees
knows
the
he shouldn't
camera,
be doing that.
And then a little
is
smile
my
comes over his face.
moment.
Yeah.
I love how this is meant to be summer and there's not one leaf on those trees.
Nope.
Look at the sky as well.
It's like summer in Brighton, isn't
Yeah,
it?
where's the sun?
It was, like I say, it was meant to be. It was meant to
here
come
we
out
go.
at Christmas, wasn't it?
Hey.
Hey, Hooper, get clear of the barrel. Hooper!
Oh, and he's double denim.
Double denim. Bloody works, though, doesn't
I
it?
miss those days.
Yeah.
Looking like an extra from Status Quo.
Bloody Status Quo.
You don't see that anymore, do you? Cigarettes in the back pocket.
Yeah.
I know.
Be a mobile phone nowadays, but
Such a trope, isn't it? Jeff Bridges was in line to play Hooper.
Jeff Bridges. God, could you imagine the dudes being Hooper, man?
Yeah, that would have been a different film.
It's like when a kid dies, he'd be like, "Bummer, this is a bummer, man."
Well, it was George Lucas who suggested.
We need to do Lebowski. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was George Lucas who suggested Dreyfus because he worked with him on American Graffiti.
Of course, yes.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
Now, Bill Butler's cinematography for this is fantastic because one of those would blur right now.
yeah, they should both be. One of them should be out of focus. in the
Exactly,
back,
yeah. But the way they've cut it, or he's used the camera angle to like try and get both and splice it in, is fantastic. He'd done it earlier with the beach scene as well.
Well, this is it, and I think a lot of what we now take for granted, cinematography-wise, was kind of evolved.
The trombone shot comes from it. The whole.
Yeah,
One of the
absolutely,
best trombone shots
Yeah.
in cinema
Yeah.
history.
But it was born through just talented filmmaking like this.
Yeah.
Didn't Bill Butler do like the cinematography for like Halloween and
believe he did,
The
yeah.
Thing and stuff as
I
well?
believe so.
I also like how they're smoking in a shed filled with acetone.
Oh yeah, it was the 70s, man.
Yeah,
Probably smoking petrol stations back then.
yeah. Nothing went bang until it went bang.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was too late to worry about it then, so hey.
Fuck you know.
Oh god, you got all these,
It was quick.
drunk idiots just pushing out to sea.
Oh, cherry bombs.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you do.
Chum. Look, look.
Got to have a bit of chum, mate.
Mr.
Oh,
Chumney Water.
I love how like Hooper just. I love how Hooper just puts this other doctor in his place in this scene.
Oh, totally.
But this wasn't a boating accident.
Yeah.
So well played when he's checking out the remains as well. Because I think it would be anybody's natural reaction, no matter how well versed you were in autopsies or dealing with remains.
I love his reaction. Like he knows straight away what this is.
Oh, yeah. Also, how horrific it must look as well.
Right arm has been severed above the elbow with massive tissue loss in the upper musculature.
I mean, the three main actors, each one gives the performance of their life in this movie.
They do.
And I love how not one of them are the same. They're all unique and they're different, you know, they are.
Yeah, because I think you can find that in a lot of films, can't you? You think, oh, I like the individual characters, but there are aspects of them that are like another character in the film. But no, each one is completely different.
They're all at a different speed.
Yeah.
Like, Brody's kind of cool, calm, collected, despite what's happening. Dreyfus is
Hooper's
kind of...
quite manic, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like extreme. He's really quick. And
He
then,
feels like the energetic person
Yeah.
out of all of it,
Yeah.
isn't he?
and
He's
then
like the excited
the
man
urgency.
of it.
He's got an urgency to
Yeah.
it all. And then Quint is just kind of like the chilled, I've seen it all before, I've done it all
Yes,
before.
I know what I'm
It's
doing sort of
fine.
character, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hooper just
Reef.
kind of
Jack the Ripper.
is the middle of the two, isn't he? He's the middle of
Yeah,
the road.
by
He's
far. And I love when you find out more about his character. Like, he's actually quite a rich guy and, you know, this is Shark Thing's his hobby.
But humble. Because,
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
he has a genuine interest in the subject.
It's a tiger shark, that one, I know.
A what?
So, on the back of this, the first
That was a
time-
real shark, wasn't it?
That thing there.
looked
Yeah.
like it.
Oh, very possibly.
Yeah, sorry, Mario, go on. Sorry.
So, the very first time I went to America, we did the Universal tour, backlot tour,
Yes.
with the George Wilder. This is in 1987 I went. And we went to a seafood restaurant after that. And it was the first time I'd ever tried shark.
Wow, yeah.
And it was amazing. I
It's
loved
nice.
It.
It's actually quite nice, isn't it?
And then we came back and they used to sell it at the fishmonger's stall in Tesco's.
Did you do the photo opportunity?
Yeah,
With
it's
the shark
big
hanging, yeah?
there, yeah.
Which is still there today, right?
Yeah, it's still there today. I mean, it looks a little bit worse for wear, but it's still there.
This shark, they couldn't find one in local waters. They wanted a real shark. They didn't want to pretend one.
Yeah.
So they had to get it from Florida.
Oh, Jesus.
And
So it is real.
So it's real. And they caught it in Florida, packed it in with as much ice as they could, and put it on a private jet and flew it
Over to Martha's Vineyard.
And apparently it stinks.
Yeah, it will do.
But they said if you look carefully, you'll see the odd person like turning away. But I didn't really notice.
I love how you
but-
saw Quentin quite quickly, and he knows he's like, that's not the real shark.
You can
But
tell by the
he's
size
laughing
of
his
it.
tits off at the same time.
Yeah. Here we go.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
A what? So iconic.
Yeah.
But we talk about the beach's closed side. Even that, it's a simple, bit of texture, but it's such an iconic poster as well.
It is, yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great front garden to do for Halloween. Just
Hell
the
yeah.
beach is closed and then the giant shark mouth down the front of the house.
Everybody get out! Get out!
As soon as they're coming up to the door, you just open the door and you're yelling at the kids, "Get out! Get out!"
It's 100 to 1. 100 to 1.
These waters, it's 100 to 1. 100 to 1. I'm not saying that this is not the shark. It probably is, Martin. It probably is.
And I love how he just states the facts. Like, this doesn't...
Well, it's inference, isn't it? You could infer that is the shark.
Yeah.
But can you be sure? And,
We all want to be sure. You want to be sure.
What I want to do is very simple. The digestive system of this animal is very, very slow. Let's cut it open. Whatever it's eaten in the last 24 hours is bound to still be...
Random fact about sharks, they can eject their stomachs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can spit their stomachs out because if they get poisoned, it's the only way to get rid of the poison of the item.
No way.
Yeah, they can vomit their stomachs. The full stomach just comes out and then swallow it back down again. There you go.
Wow.
Delightful.
And then you
I
obviously
love
empty
it.
it. And then
This is vegan bacon.
I'll have another. Right, keeps just putting it in the bin.
See, you can-
Put another one.
What's this wrong? What's wrong with you? I just ate a vegan. It tastes like cardboard and beige.
Beige, yeah.
And this is Alex Kittner's mum, isn't
This
it?
is Alex Kittner's mum. And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, no disrespect to the actress that played her, but apparently she was in her late 30s.
Yeah, she's not long passed away, hasn't she?
No,
She's got one of the-
absolutely, yeah.
But she spent a lifetime slapping fans around the face, hasn't she?
of course, yeah.
Like she used to go to cons and literally slap them around. They would pay her to slap them around the face.
Dear me.
So Alex Kittner's mum's actually smacked me. I mean, how guilty must you feel as a person going through this? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just,
I mean,
you knew you
ultimately
did the wrong thing,
it
but
comes down
but it's
to-
pressured.
Yeah.
And I love
decision, but he was under pressure.
And this is the thing I love about Brody. Brody just takes it on him. He could have just said, "Look, the mayor told me to do this.
Yeah,
they all
yeah,
told
yeah.
me to keep it open. This is their fault."
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He takes the
he
look.
goes,
This
the
is a
buck
good
stops
man.
with me.
Yeah,
Right.
she needed an outlet, and he stepped in as the outlet, basically, didn't he?
There's literally nothing stopping himself now and going,
No.
"Hang about. It was
Yeah,
their idea, not
yeah.
mine."
But hold on, she's supposed to be in her 30s. How old is the dad, if that's the dad?
Yeah,
Like-
oh, mate.
No, I think that's...
She's
her
a gold.
dad.
She's a
Oh,
gold.
her
She's a
dad,
gold
sure.
digger.
I'm hoping so. But, yeah.
They age quickly in Martha's Vineyards.
That's it,
Seriously.
yeah.
Clearly.
It's a diet of seafood.
Where is it actually located? Martha's Vineyards,
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
The president has a place nearby, isn't he?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. What's it called?
Martha's Vineyard.
No. The president's...
Another one you're on
No,
about.
kid you not. This
Summer
scene where
residence, whatever they
Brody's
call it.
son copies him. My little one did this to me years ago when she was so young, and I nearly fucking cried. I was
Oh,
like,
no,
oh my
really?
god, we just did a Jaws moment.
Well, this came about by accident because the little kiddie, not during a take, like during rehearsals and stuff like that, when they weren't shooting, he was copying Roy Schneider. And Spielberg loved it so much, he said, right, let's include it in the...
Just roll it.
Just
Nice.
let's go with it, yeah. Yeah, so they recreated it. But now it's a memorable scene. It's a nice scene as well.
Yeah,
because it
definitely.
shows the humanity of the film.
Yeah.
And didn't the older brother die not long after this was made as well? Was it Michael?
Possibly, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It's on the Shark is Still Not Working documentary, which is a fantastic documentary if you've never seen it.
I haven't watched that one.
We'll talk about why the shark didn't work later.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we kind of have to, really, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
because I need it. I love Brody on this scene because he's upset, of course. He's sad, but he's also drunk.
Yeah.
And I love the part where he pours in the wine and just pours nearly the whole bottle into the cup. And do you know what? For years, I never noticed it until recently, a few months ago, I watched this and I was like, oh shit, he actually did put the whole bottle in there.
It's also the fact he's got a big slab of fish on the table there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's not touched it. The kid's eating his, but he's sat there in this massive piece of
and
what
then
looks
he
like
eats
salmon.
it, doesn't he? He takes it off
I
his
think
plate.
so.
he starts, yeah.
Oh, is it a fried chicken?
Yeah.
No, I'll take it back.
He
It's fried
passes it
chicken.
to him. But I like little affectations like that. It's something that Spielberg and Lucas do very, very well. It's going on. You don't really notice it, but it adds flavour to the scene.
They've done a good job of portraying him as he's just an ordinary guy. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'll have that.
Yeah. No, that's now mine.
Is there any other films you do like with Roy Scheider in that you can think of at all? I like Sorcerer. I don't know if you've ever seen
Yeah.
Sorcerer.
Oh, yeah.
It's by William Friedkin. It's when he has to transport a truck full of dynamite that can easily blow up at the single shove.
That is.
And he has to do it through like a storm and over a bridge,
Was
whatnot.
it William
It's one of the most
Friedkin's
intense
film, isn't
scenes
it?
I've ever seen in the cinema. It's unreal. It's fantastic.
Is it William Friedkin?
William Friedkin film, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, very good film.
that.
See, the only thing I've ever seen with Roy Schneider in past the Jaws series was Sequest DSV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Until then,
I
I
loved
hadn't
that
seen
series.
anything else with him in.
But then you mentioned Punisher. And he's in that, isn't he? He plays Thomas Jane's dad.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Or Frank Castle's dad, should I say.
Frank Castle's dead, yeah.
Which I think was one of his last movies.
It would have been.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did. He died around about that time.
Controversially, I really like the Thomas Jane Punisher. Like, I
do. It's
I think it was one of the
underrated.
better- I think it was one of the better Punisher
I'm
films
gutted
ever
that he
made.
never came back as it.
No, me too. Like, I thought he did really well as Frank Castle.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, chaps. We all like Hooper, don't we?
Yes.
He's a likeable character. He's a nice chap. So this is one of the differences. yeah. I'll just have a pint of wine, please.
Mega pint.
You can have a dribble.
Here's a mega.
A mega pint.
Sorry, Howard, you were saying.
No, that's all right. No, so one of the differences from the book is that in the book, Hooper has an affair with Brody's wife.
No way.
Yeah, hands down. And is eventually killed by the shark towards the end of the film.
Oh, wow.
Spielberg just didn't like this whatsoever. And I think also once he'd cast Richard Dreyfuss, he said it doesn't reflect the character that Dreyfuss is portraying.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he changed it all up.
Yeah.
He survives, doesn't have the affair, and we like him.
Yeah, and I think Spielberg done it right.
Yeah, I
doing
don't think
that.
it's necessary. Like,
But do you think, like, obviously this spawned another 3 more sequels after this? Do you
yes.
think it would have?
Spawned a lot.
Do you think it would have been different if Hooper's character came back at all? Because obviously Brody and
Maybe. Maybe.
Brody's
I
wife
think
comes back.
Obviously, for the second one, you had Brody again.
Yep.
And then going beyond that, it got a bit because it was Brody's kids and the
yeah.
in the
and then it was his wife in number 4.
it got
and then it
personal
was
in 4.
With Michael
Cocoon.
Caine.
I was about to say it's Jaws Cocoon, isn't it? Like it's just the old people on an island. Like,
Jaws the jumper, I call it in that one. 'Cause he jumps a lot, Jaws.
It's a bit like the Jurassic Park effect, isn't it? If you had reoccurring characters throughout the series, it would have made a different impact, and you possibly would have had more.
It would have watered down.
I think the second one's
Bennett from this film.
the second one benefits.
I see what you did there, John.
I think the second one is not a bad sequel.
No, I
I'm
think
not going to lie. I really
The second
enjoyed
one's very
2.
good.
It benefits from Hooper being in it, and Brody, not Hooper, from Brody being in it, and his paranoia and his whole "I've lived through this once before."
Yeah, I've learned what the
Yeah, I mean, he brought a different story, different take to the film.
So very quickly, do you remember I said on Raiders about the fact that Spielberg wanted to direct a James Bond film?
Yep.
Yes.
Watch what gets pulled out of this shark's stomach in a few seconds. So we've got
It's the license plate,
a
right?
couple of fish,
It is
a
a
tin
license
can.
plate.
Yeah, tell me what's written on that license plate.
Oh. 007.
007.
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
a little nod.
Yeah.
Plus, Louisiana 73 is the setting and release year of Live and Let Die.
Oh,
Wow.
So yeah, that was Spielberg's little nod to the fact that he wanted Bond, he needed Bond, but
Nice.
obviously it never materialised, and that's where Indiana Jones steps in to fill the hole.
Did you know that license plate shows up again in Deep Blue Sea?
No, I did not. know that.
Which obviously clearly is a nod to this.
It's a nod to that. And also, all the sharks die the same as all four.
In order?
In the
So
same
like
order.
the grenade in the mouth.
Grenades, electrocution,
Yeah.
blow up. Yeah,
Wow.
None of them get taken out by a seaplane.
yeah.
Between Cape Scott and South Beach. Where you going? We gotta find him right now. He's a nice.
I love Brady's reaction to this now. He's like, holy shit. He's realised this isn't the shark. We need to close the beaches.
Yes, you are. You can't do that. Yes, you can.
But I love this scene. So if you ever listen to the soundtrack on Spotify, whatever you do, this specific scene. So this was 4 years before Alien come out.
Yes.
And there's a segment where Hooper goes underwater, and it's a really like calm and aquatic type feel to the music. But if you really carry on and listen, I mean, you might not be able to in the movie, but if you listen to the soundtrack, it's got hints of something that Jerry Goldsmith has taken from. I like to think he's taken like inspiration for the Alien soundtrack.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the movie, but it's definitely in the soundtrack, and I absolutely like just thought. I think I mentioned it on the soundtrack episode.
And why wouldn't he? I think we've previously talked about the fact that movies, as modern movies, will always take from the classics, won't they?
Yes.
Because they've seen what worked.
It's like they're like a sympathetic nod to.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
original.
I mean, we said about Masters of the Universe,
Yeah.
the setting was very reminiscent of what we saw in Back to the Future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, take from what works and use it in your film.
Absolutely.
I think this was kind of the first hint that Hooper came from money, wasn't it? Because of his boat looks quite expensive.
I love that line. It's on the island if you look at it from the water.
What is that thing doing? Well, it's a fish finder. It's probably.
And again, I love this scene, how it's just, shot, but you don't see an awful lot.
No,
And one of the
no.
best jump scares ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I believe they shot in a swimming pool, didn't they, or something?
The large majority of it was all done in giant tanks. Yeah.
Wow.
There is a particular scene they shot it in a swimming pool.
Yeah, this is the one, isn't
I
it?
mean, this jump.
Ben Gardner's boat.
You'd probably say
No.
this was one of the biggest jump scares in the film, wouldn't you? And
Oh, definitely.
Very, very memorable.
I'd say this is more than when the actual shark is revealed.
It wasn't scripted. It was something that they came up with later. So he had the idea
Just a bit
because
with the head.
Ben Gardner's head, yeah.
Yeah, Ben Gardner's head.
This was in the swimming pool. Yeah.
he put what they'd already produced at the time out to test audiences, and he thought, I can get one more iconic scare in.
Sorry. Like little hints of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Sorry, go on, carry on. Sorry.
No, that's all right, mate. At that time, Universal had refused to shoot any extra scenes.
Right.
So at the cost of around about $3,000 out of his own pocket, Spielberg did all of this bit off his own back.
Of his own back. There you go,
Completely
see?
off his own back,
Like
yeah.
Gary Goddard did for He-Man when he shot the
Yes,
final
that's right.
scene.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, so
You got into that wetsuit quick.
the editor of the film, Verna Fields, this was done at her home in order to shoot the scene in an outdoor pool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
there.
And in order to create the aspect of floating on the sea, they poured milk into the pool
Yeah, the
in order
milk.
to create that effect. So that's why it looks murky and ocean-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
that-
it's like in a lagoon or some
Yeah.
sort,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It doesn't actually look like it's out in the ocean.
No.
Even the green effect under
That's
the
one
water.
hell of a pool then.
Oh,
No,
no,
it's not-
well, yeah, you can
no,
imagine.
the pool. The pool.
No, the pool
bit
is this next bit.
is
What's
only-
on the
yeah,
wall. This
go
bit
for
here.
that.
That's
This
a
bit,
pool
yeah.
now.
Yeah, where the
I was about
This
to say,
bit
'cause-
when Ben Gardner's head pops out,
that's the part.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That myself.
Oh yeah, this was the part I looked away every time as a kid.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
film
yeah,
needed
was
it. It
truly
needed
horrifying,
that scare
Yes.
because it's gone a bit all nicey.
But I love the
now,
part when he
isn't it?
pulls the tooth out and you see the
Yeah.
size of it
Yeah.
compared to his hand is
Yeah.
unreal. But
also-
you know you're in for
Yeah,
a frigging big shark.
Again, Richard Dreyfuss. I mean, his reaction seems
Look at
real. It's very possibly like Spielberg hadn't told him it was going to happen.
Look at that. Look.
Like, fuck that. I'd be out of there. I would be out of there.
And that's probably one of the little ones.
See, there were two things that got me when I was a kid that scared me when I watched the film, and it was this, and it was one of the James Bond films where he's almost burnt alive, and they
Look at that!
Looks like Pennywise.
he's burnt alive in an incinerator.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Sorry, we're going.
I can't remember which James Bond it is, but he's in the incinerator. He's in like
Diamonds Are
crematorium,
Ah,
and
okay.
he's locked in there, and the flame's gone. It's Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
Like that always got me.
Two major things used to scare
nightmares
me
about
was
that.
this,
Yeah.
and the ending of Superman 3 when she turns into the robot.
Yeah.
Scared the fucking shit out of
when
me.
the woman gets cyborged up.
That's it.
That still appears
Christ.
in lists as things that shit you up when you're a
Yeah.
kid.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I agree.
Start from E.T.
sorry, one more. The headless witch in Return to Oz.
Yes. Ozma, yeah.
Fucking shit
It was
me
it was
up.
the wheelies that used to get me,
The Wheelers,
The
yeah,
Wheelers,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they were freaky.
but I had a thing for Firuza Balk, so you know.
Well,
Oh,
it's understandable.
Which then into the craft as well.
the jacket's
Yeah.
back. I just realised.
Yeah.
Jacket, yeah.
I fucking want
And
that
you can see it- you
jacket.
can see it properly now.
Yeah.
I don't
And
care. I'd
and
go out clubbing in that
I
fucking jacket.
have a
would.
request, Anne. When the fine people listening to this podcast finally see our faces in the YouTube
In
project,
YouTube, yeah.
I want you to wear that jacket.
Oh,
hell
mate, if I
yeah.
can get hold of it, I
We need
would
to find
wear
a jacket.
it.
One of us needs to find a police jacket.
The
One of
whole
us needs to
season,
find-
I would wear it, dude.
One of us
Have a
needs
look
to
on
find
Etsy
the
or
crushed
somewhere.
velvet.
It's got to be in it,
Someone
yeah.
And then
would
look at that. You got
Oh,
the,
yeah,
you got
yeah,
the trio.
I mean, I think Brody's jacket's probably pretty easy to find, but yeah, if
Yeah.
you can get the middle and the left
Yeah.
jacket.
The male one, definitely.
Yeah. And the crushed velvet corduroy.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark. I mean, we're going to have to tell the Coast Guard. We're going to have to get started.
And I love how, like, sort of, how this is still going today. Like,
Yeah.
money always beats
Yeah.
death,
Yeah, totally.
regardless.
Yeah.
Money always talk, won't it? And you know, that's the
Absolutely.
more importance of people's lives, isn't it?
And that will never change.
Yeah.
That's one thing that will never ever change. Now,
A little pain in the shark fin.
we talked about this poster. I mean, again, iconic in itself.
Help,
And
shark.
it tells a little story, basically. Because it's giving you the swimmer from the beginning. There's a little boat on the horizon of kind of foreboding, foreshadowing of what's
Oh
going to
yeah!
happen.
And, wow, I never noticed that. Oh my god!
And this scene, this is the longest scene in the movie.
Oh, well.
At 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Oh, it's one shot.
Yeah, it's one shot, yeah.
Mind blown.
Because it actually references every single victim in the film. Up to that point.
Yeah, because
Oh,
she's
yeah,
on
yeah.
a yellow
You got the
Lilo, which
Lido,
the
you
boy
got the
was
boat.
on.
You
Yeah,
got
like
the-
Alex Skipper, yeah.
and you got a woman on a yeah,
It's, the Lilo, the young lady from the very beginning.
Yeah.
who,
and the boat is
yeah.
out at sea, yeah.
And the Horizon, the fishing boat, which is Ben Gartner. The model for the poster was the girlfriend of director and good friend of Spielberg, Brian De Palma.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's a little bonus fact there.
part of the director's gang, wasn't it? Brian De
Yeah,
Palma
that's
and-
right. Yeah. Probably on set at the time.
Yeah, all the same film school, weren't they?
Yeah.
Here come tourists.
now.
Well, here comes the money.
Here come the money. Money, 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 money.
So, and I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the famous shot of Brody on the beach where he sees the shark, and we get that amazing bit of cinematography. First used by Alfred Hitchcock in Vertigo.
Ah, okay.
It was used to good effect by Hitchcock's camera operator Ermin Roberts. Now, obviously, Spielberg, De Palma,
Yep.
Lucas all would have watched and grew up and learned from Hitchcock. So yeah, ultimately reused. But I think better in this film, which is
Yeah.
why it's now more commonly known as the Jaws shot.
Ah, okay.
American cars.
Still shit.
70s flares.
Apparently, Steven Spielberg invited George Lucas, Martin Scorsese, and a couple of other guys for an after-hours look around the lot. And George Lucas put his head in the shark jaws.
Yep.
And the others decided they'd play a trick on him, so they closed the jaws on his head, and it jammed shut. And they couldn't get his head out, and eventually they got his head out, and they all legged it because they thought, shit, they're going to get told off by them props people.
You know what George said when they couldn't open it, though, didn't you?
No.
No. His own inevitable style.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So I've seen pictures of people in a pool, like on those rubber ring things, watching Jaws on a screen.
Yeah.
Would you give that a go?
I would do that.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, only if I can vet the pool.
Because I know you're not a fan of the water, are you, Howard?
tell you
So-
what,
Oh, there we
I did
go.
say- yeah, so that's Peter Benchley, the
Yeah.
writer of the original novel. No, I did say a natural body of water.
I'd love...
Natural body.
Natural body
natural
water.
I tell you what would make it really
Screw
cool
that.
is if you had, like, you know, like a pool underneath the pool, which had sharks swimming around
So
in
say
it.
you'd have to have.
That would be
yeah.
fucking immense.
What's interesting though about Benchley's appearance there is that shortly after that, because I think this was one of the first scenes to be filmed, Benchley and Spielberg fell out. He didn't like a lot of the changes being made in order to make it more cinematic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he got quite forceful and he was asked to leave the set for a couple of days.
Wow.
I just put some suntan lotion on, and I'm trying to absorb
I love it. It's like, I mean, no, it's
gonna
not
be
happening.
guinea pigs,
Please
yeah.
go be bait for the main character.
Well, I've just eaten and yeah.
Oh. But
Now-
I've just had a
Oh,
corn
the
dog.
yellow lilacs come out.
Yep.
John just mentioned it, and again, never even thought of it until Comic Book Man brings it up. Jaws isn't its name.
No.
Isn't the shark's
no,
name.
No, it's not
No,
a shark's name.
No.
I mean, that's how we just see it because that's what the movie's called,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there is a name for the shark, right?
Yes.
I believe.
Yes. There was 3 props, and they were all called Bruce.
Right.
Bruce.
Okay.
Which is in...
My name's Bruce.
Yeah.
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 Fish are friends, not food.
Not food.
Yeah. In
Shark Tale,
Finding
call it.
Nemo.
Shark
Finding
Tale.
Nemo. that's
Finding
it.
Nemo.
Yeah.
The Shark Tale
It's Shark
thing.
Tale. I thought it was Shark Tale, wasn't it?
No, it's Finding
No,
Nemo.
Finding
Finding
Nemo.
Nemo, yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But the Bruce is
Oh,
there's
Bruce.
a reason why he's called Bruce, wasn't it? I can't remember. It's something
Australia,
to
'cause it's
no.
Australia.
In
No.
why
In-
Oh,
Jaws?
they called him Bruce.
Why
Oh.
Jaws is called Bruce? Was it? I think it's something to do with
The
a boss of theirs or
so
something.
Spielberg nicknamed the shark Bruce after his lawyer, Bruce Raymer.
His lawyer. There we go.
That's
He's
it.
represented other celebrities like Clooney, Robert Zemeckis, and Clint Eastwood
You don't think that's where...
because he's a real shark.
That's what I was about to say. You don't think that's where they get the term for, don't you?
I think it was around before then, but yeah, that's partially probably proliferated by that as well.
Yeah, because Brian Johnson's a massive Jaws fan, isn't he? And
Yeah.
he mentions in it, it was like, first off, Jaws wasn't his name. And I'm like, holy cow. That's
Well,
right.
Of course it isn't.
Oh, and you know the guy whose head popped out of the thing with that scare?
Yep.
The Robert Shaw's character is modelled on him because he's that guy.
Oh, Ben Gardner, yes, you're
he's
right.
an actual resident of Martha's
Ah,
Vineyard.
okay, yeah.
And he's like the local,
Which we
the
saw
local
briefly
salt guy,
earlier
you
on,
know?
didn't we?
So the
Yeah.
actors, so to add to what John's saying there is the actor is Craig Kingsbury.
Yeah, and he was like their local.
Well, he's
big
the
game
quint.
fisherman.
He's the
sort of.
quint of the area. Yeah,
quint.
and Shaw spent a lot of time with him. He even helped him develop his accent as well.
Ah.
So he would feed him old kind of sea stories or fishing stories that Shaw actually used within the context of the film.
Nice.
What's nice is that I think the reactions of the kids in the background are probably real,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Because that's what would have happened. All the kids
Yeah,
would
of
be
course it
jumping
was,
up and
yeah.
down behind.
I really want to play the board game. Watching this. I'd shit myself if
of course you
I
would.
would be her.
Yeah.
That's my reaction right there.
yeah. Yeah.
Fucking out of here.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was on our honeymoon in Mexico.
Typical dad, just knock your kids out into the water.
It's
and
it, yeah. And like this, I saw like this blurry grey thing come towards me, and I was like, no, I don't care what it is, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
It ended up being like a barracuda or some sort. I was like,
Oh, no,
I don't
really?
care, I'm still out of there.
Yeah.
I love the old people who are just like, let's watch.
But I think, they're reacting as you would, but that guy there, he's literally crawling over his children, stealing the Lilo out of their hands to get away. I think it's real.
I love when the camera
It's just on the waterline.
Does the waterline. Yeah, I love it when it does that. It does it in films like Abyss and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, this was a day where you didn't have waterproof cameras and GoPros and all that sort of stuff.
You had to put it in like a fish tank, more or less, just to get it in the water.
But these guys were... You mentioned the tank, but there were times where they put a mechanical shark in an ocean, like a real ocean. It's like, in 50 years ago... Jesus Christ, my hat's off to these guys.
Gosh, little fuckers.
Co-op.
Busted.
That's like the reality of a prank, isn't it?
Yeah.
You little grass. So again, another snapshot of reality there is that old geezer got trampled as everyone was trying to get out of the water.
Right, so if I ever go to Martha's Vineyard, I want to go to these set of rocks and do what she does straight away. The shark in the pond! I'm sure so many fans have gone and done that. Martha's Vineyards are pissed off with fans doing it, but I've just got to do this, man.
Oh, but then he realises, where's his son?
Gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, he's putting his finger out to put it in the loop of the rope.
There's a shot in a minute that really terrifies me. It's one of my...
Because it looks real.
Yes.
Because it looks very, very real. And so this film was initially rated R by the MPAA.
Hang on, sorry, Howard.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go.
This one now, look at that.
Oh, shit.
I would shit myself if I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Panic attack and a half.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, that is why I don't set foot in the water.
Fucking hell.
And then
Look at that leg.
Yep.
I mean,
Which actually looks really
And
realistic.
the blood as
real,
well.
doesn't it?
Sorry, Howard, rated R originally,
that's okay.
sorry.
It's because of that scene
Yeah.
that they managed to get it trimmed down to a PG because they shaved a little bit off of how he gets his leg severed.
Yeah,
chopped off.
wasn't there a scene where his body drags over the top of the water for a
pretty much,
bit?
Yeah. So all you see is the shark underneath, a bit of blood, and then the severed leg.
But then,
That's how they reduced it to a PG, by trimming down that scene.
and I think
because I'm sure I've seen.
I think it works well because then you would
the body half out of the mouth.
it wouldn't be like it is now. I mean, it would be more of a gore fest sort of film.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you would.
Yeah, unnecessary.
And we talked about on Raiders, where we said Raiders nearly got the R rating.
Yeah.
But it was Temple of Doom that finally secured that R rating. So it was Spielberg.
wow.
All along the way, he was pushing the bar and pushing the bar and pushing the bar, and then, finally, Temple of Doom got
And you saying that, I mean, I finally got to watch the original cut of that because there's a director's cut of it on there, and now I know why it's got the R rating. It's unreal.
Well, on the poster, I mean, you say about the strapline, the original strapline, at the very bottom of the poster, it does say, may be too intense for younger children.
Wow.
In big red letters.
Which I believe was on the same for Jurassic Park as well.
Yeah. Because it doesn't say it's not for kids.
No.
No.
Just might be too intense for small
But the
children.
thing is, we've addressed this again. This particular subject. We've always said that when
Quick
they
look at camera there.
when they release these films, they should because you get more than one disc in some of these director's cuts and whatever.
Yes, yeah.
So that's to me that's the whole point of the director's cut. If you're not going to show it in the cinema, because you want more people to go and see it, so you have to cut bits to reduce the rating. Well, put it on.
We've always said this, haven't we?
So I saw something come up the other day, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? There's a super director's cut of Ghostbusters."
Yeah. Apparently
Is
so.
there?
There's an
I've heard
there's
this-
an ectoplasm cut Blu-ray.
Oh, wow.
And it's both films back to back, but
Both
it's
films
got up
put
to
together,
20
yeah.
minutes of extra footage. from
No
Ghostbusters,
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
someone get hold of that. I
then
need to
just-
watch that.
I've
I
then
knew
just
there
gone
was a
nuts
direct
trying to find
thingy,
this
but I
thing.
didn't know what it was
And it's
about.
got
Oh,
double
shit.
cover, so the cover is the normal cover from the film. And
Oh,
then turn it-
amazing.
Turn it inside out, and it's actually got a green, you know, the red no ghost
Yeah.
sign?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with
yeah.
It's green with ectoplasm dripping down it. It looks,
Oh, wicked.
My dick's getting so hard right now.
if I can find that,
We need to do that, seriously.
that is
None
a,
of the
yeah.
Ghostbusters have been commentary corners yet, so it'd be good to
well,
do it.
that'd just be a good one for Halloween, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go. I love this scene because this is the part where Brody's, I've had enough now.
Yeah.
We're doing this now.
Well, I'm pulling rank. I'm the police chief. What are you going to do? I mean, Mayor Vaughan, the realisation is setting in.
Yes.
I think he's now in shock.
Especially now he's mentioned his kids are on the beach as
Yeah.
well.
And he basically says to him, bad decision, mate. Now let's do it my way. Which is why he agrees.
Stop being a dick.
Smoking in
It's like
hospital.
ringing up the dealer bell for crying out loud. So this is one of the sets they built, you say?
This was the only set
The only
that they
one.
built. Yeah, it's Quint's shack. Because I just don't think anything looked
As authentic for a shark hunter?
authentic enough, yeah. Or for what they wanted, anyway.
I've always wanted a shark jaw.
I have as well. I had the opportunity to buy one, but I got kind of kiboshed by my mother.
Oh, really?
Why do you need that shit in your room? Because it looks cool.
It looks cool.
I don't need
God
it. I
damn
want it.
It's to swim with bow-legged women.
God.
I think this is where you. All right, we've only learnt a little bit about Quint, but you realise from these very few scenes that that he's not fucking about.
No.
Yeah, you can tell he's a man
He
of
knows his stuff.
of what. Yeah,
He hunts one thing and one thing only.
man flesh. Sharks.
The biggest threat in water.
Talking about fucking sharks.
Well, I'm not talking about hooking some poor dogfish or sand shark. I'm talking about finding a great white.
So a little bit, I think, about what makes these characters so great is the interplay and sort of friendly rivalry between Quint and Hooper.
Yeah, they're coming at it from different angles, isn't it? Like
Well,
one.
Yeah, because
go
he
on,
knows
go on.
he's the rich kid,
Yeah.
so he's like, I don't want this sort of guy in my,
Well-
you know.
One's educated by the system, and the other's educated by life,
Yes, definitely.
and they both know the same as each other. But this is his test.
And they still do it later on as well.
Yeah.
Like when they progress on the orca and stuff.
When they're at the pissing contest, yeah, and they're all getting drunk in the boat.
Oh yeah, when they're
They're
the
both
scars
kind of,
and whatnot. Yeah.
But what adds to this is that in real life, these two actors didn't get on. Robert Shaw did not like Richard Dreyfuss one bit.
But do you think that's what helped
I think so.
with
yeah.
the part as well?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
like you said, how they're rivals at the moment. If
But
you
do you
will.
know what's the mark of a good actor is that they use it.
yeah. You don't
They
believe
don't let
that
it
there is-
affect
yeah.
the role or the production. They use it to good effect. So it's kind of like mirroring, really.
I love how Brady's just caught in the middle of it. Though,
Oh yeah,
isn't he?
God,
It's just-
yeah. Well, you can imagine even as the the real life actors, he's probably like, oh, this shit again.
Yeah.
But don't you get like a feeling that again later on as we progress on the orca that Quint's sort of teaching Brody as well? Like he
teaching
teaches him how
both
to
of them.
tie knots and he does
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
thing with the.
Because he's a salty old sea dog, but he lightens up a bit. He begins to accept them, maybe as friends. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, he is. He's trying to give them a little bit of
It's-
information because he's like, you haven't got a clue, mate, and you are going to get eaten by a shark.
This,
By
this,
that.
this is the scene though. It kind of shows it. It's the old school versus the new school. So like, he's come in with all this new gear: the shark cage, the harpoon guns, the diving gear.
It's like the up to date stuff, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Compared
yeah.
to the old.
Compared to the old ways,
Quint's
yeah.
just turned up with this massive rope and a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yellow barrels.
And yellow barrels.
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
done it. He's done it before. He wouldn't be
Yeah.
the age he is now if he hadn't done all that sort of thing. So he's tried and trusted kind of thing, isn't it?
Salsa shark.
Yeah.
Our shark. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Spanish lady.
But you mentioned Kevin Smith
Yeah.
earlier on. I mean,
This is one of his favourite films,
he brings up Jaws in a bunch of his movies, doesn't he? It's
He
just,
does, yeah.
You can tell it's one of his favourites
How
as well.
can you not?
I mean, he was
True.
going to do the ultimate homage to it, wasn't he? Moose Jaws.
Yes.
It's never happened. I can't. I really want to see that happen, but so-
Every time I see this sort of setting, it always reminds me of the queuing system of the Jaws ride.
yes,
Oh God!
yeah, no, he's, yeah.
You did have to queue through.
You did, didn't you? Do you remember?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did,
assuming
and
he
then
was
you get to the
deliberately
beginning,
done
and it
that
would
Oh yeah,
work
it
for an
goes
hour.
with the theme and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, it looked so well.
Such a good ride. I mean, that had that for donkey's years.
Yeah, unfortunately, it closed in 2012 though, so it's been a
Yeah.
while since it's been gone. But I believe it's still in the Japan one, right?
It is
Probably
in Japan
is.
one, but it's also still there in the others. It's just not used.
Oh,
Like, they've not decommissioned it completely. Like you go there, and the docks are still there and,
Oh,
and
'cause I
stuff.
thought they,
really?
I thought they repositioned the area for another ride.
Well, no,
they
it's
didn't,
just
oh.
normally just backdrop, so it's just part of the scenery now. So
Yeah.
But I would have thought Jaws is still a draw. They could
Yeah.
use it.
I think modernisation. I think there's, what are you going to do? Kids don't really watch
No,
old films as much as they used
Exactly.
to.
And
You get all the adults.
The
Yeah.
problem
Well,
with
you
this
wouldn't
film,
get
I
the
mean,
kids on
I
it.
keep trying to get my oldest daughter to watch this, but the problem is that it's a lot of talking and not an awful lot happening, and she will not go for it.
No.
And I'm worried that the generation or the
True.
new generation are going to steer away from this.
But it's so visually stunning.
Yeah,
It's
That's such a good shot.
That is a great
through
shot.
the jaws.
I had a rule.
That's
though,
the
when-
front. That's the
When
cover
I
of
was
the,
younger,
the
I had a
LP
rule
album
that I
as
wouldn't
well.
watch a film that was older than 10 years.
Oh, really?
Because a film that was older than 10 years just wasn't worth watching. That was the mentality I had when I was a kid.
What happened to
That's
Stupid
true.
Young Mario?
It's true though, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
'cause
just-
it
this is
looked-
the realization, isn't
Because
it?
it looked like it was old and it didn't have any relevance to me, and I just couldn't get into it because I couldn't relate to it. Now I look back at these films like Jaws and like I was talking about Ocean's 11 and stuff like that. It took me to my mid to late teens to actually kind of appreciate. Actually, there is a lot more to watching those films than there is to watching, the modern day stuff.
So, it's no secret that I am a massive Doctor Who fan. I love new Doctor Who, but I will constantly rewatch old Doctor Who because it tells a more slower, fluid story. New Doctor Who is great, but it's still very much a lot of running about, a lot of flash and bang, and
Effects driven as well.
It is
like-
effects driven. It's not. It's too much bang for your buck without telling a proper story.
Yeah.
Jaws tells a story, and I must confess, from a very young age, and I give my father his credit. He knew what films to make me watch because I grew up appreciating story. And nowadays, I watch films. I mean, you can watch Michael Bay films and things like that. They're
No, you
enjoyable,
can't.
but no, you can't. No, I was lying. Sorry.
You get motion sickness watching Michael Bay.
Well, that's true. Yeah, yeah. You need a vomit bag.
Yes,
Motion
yeah,
sickness.
Yeah.
But they bore me. And I'm not just saying this for effect. I'm not just saying it because we're watching Jaws, but the films like that bore me because they're not telling a story. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
It's not story driven enough.
We were talking about doing the Turtles film, and I thought, we should do the Michael Bay one, and then I was like, actually, no, because it doesn't do anything. It just
Doesn't go anywhere. Does
No.
it? Yeah, it looks nice.
you don't.
It looks nice, but
you-
I think that's about it.
I think that's the issue with audiences now, Howard. It's the reverse. They don't care about the story. They care about the boom, boom, bang, bang,
yeah.
Yeah.
and action and whatnot.
And it sounds like we're a bunch of old boomers sitting there going, "Oh, kids today." It's not so much that. I think that's what they've grown up with now.
Yeah.
That's what they expect, and fair play. If that's what kids,
Yeah,
I say kids, inverted commas, if
grew
that's
up
what they
with
want,
a different thingy.
yeah, we
so-
did. So we're still very story driven. That's got its place, and modern day films that are quick moving, lots of explosions. That's got its place for that audience as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm always playing 80s music in my car, and I always say to my daughter,
God, John, you're so old.
but I always say to her, the difference between 80s music and today, in the 80s songs actually had words and kind of, in a sense, told a little bit of a story. You need to have a whole
nothing was
page.
auto-tuned back then either.
Whereas
No.
now it's all like, there's probably like 5 words and they repeat them constantly. And you think, well, that's not really songwriting then, is it?
Now, if
It's
you
the
know,
same with films,
if you
right?
notice, a lot of the camera work is, like you say, was sort of motion sickness wise because they were filming it on another boat from far away. And in the documentary for this movie, the shark doesn't work. There's a reason why the DVDs and the Blu-rays is all rated 12. Even though this movie is rated PG, it's rated 12 because Spielberg drops the F-bomb in that documentary.
Oh, wow.
And apparently the orca hit something, started to go down, as well as the
it's
sound
sunk.
department.
It's sunk.
Yeah, this is like earlier on in the film.
No, I mean,
when I watched
yeah.
film,
Yeah.
Apparently, the sound department's boat started to sink as well. I don't know what they hit or
Oh my
whatnot.
word.
But Spielberg was like rolling, and obviously he started to like not realise the boat was sinking. And he goes, he's obviously didn't notice that it was sinking. And he says, "Oh, come on, save the actors." And apparently the sound department went and goes, "Fuck the actors, save the sound department."
Oh dear. But this is where his knowledge kicked in, because he could tell.
Now,
So he starts.
I to and fro this scene.
himself
I to and fro this scene. Is it the shark they caught hold of though?
No.
Well, you don't know, do you?
You never know. That's the
don't know.
issue.
No, it's a Russian sub with Sean Connery in it.
Red October.
But I love how there's times I watched it and go, yeah, the shark is playing tricks on them. And then there's moments where you got Hooper goes, it's not a shark. It could be
Yeah.
something else.
But I think that's the beauty of it. You're
Yeah.
never quite sure. Yeah, we see the big fuck off shark towards the end, but could it be other things at play? So
But it's nice to think that it is the shark toying with them.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it gives you that sense of
because the shark is just a bigger character as these three.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think the shark's intelligent, or more intelligent than potentially it is. Like, it's testing the water, it's having a play.
So, Ant, you said about the orca sinking, like
Yeah.
mid-production. I mean, it was just one of many things that affected this, which is why there was a lot of script rewrites.
Right.
Weather was a factor. I mean, they overran by quite a few days. It was due to stop shooting after 65 days, and they went to 157 days
Wow.
of
Jesus.
shooting. So production, the budget went from $4 million to $9 million.
Cool.
Which is nothing nowadays.
That's
That's an
nothing these days.
actor's like wage now, isn't
exactly.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's academic because at the time it went on to become the biggest grossing movie of all time. Then.
Anyway, yeah. But this is, I mean, I've seen this in the cinema numerous times when they've re-released it for anniversary editions and whatnot, but I wish I was there in 75 watching this.
Just watching it, yeah, because it would have been a brand new experience for everybody. You know, I think people always talk about like when you find out that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father.
Yeah.
You wish you'd been in the cinema at the time.
Yes.
Then you realise that Luke kissed Leia, and then you...
Well, even just the first movie with the opening scene with the massive Star
the
Destroyer
Star-
going over the camera.
And you can't believe that that's actually like shot. Like, if it looks so real. There's
Right?
no like green screen kind
Just
of...
to be there in 77 and see that for the first time must have been incredible.
Obviously worked though, mate, because it appeared in over 400 theatres in the United States and grossed over $100 million at the box
Jeez.
office.
Wow.
Deservedly so.
And do you know which film topped that?
Jurassic Park.
Star Wars.
There you go, yeah.
Two years after
But
this.
we all know
It
that
was
Star Wars
77.
made a lot of money through merchandising as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
big
This
time.
this did it as well, didn't it?
It did. I mean, there was T-shirts and obviously the book proliferated a little
Yeah.
bit. The poster, baseball caps. And there was even a board game, like the board game that we know in present day.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bit like a...
It was a massive shark, wasn't it?
It was like a Bucking Broncos. It was like
That's it.
Buckaroo. It was
Oh,
a
you
bit
had to
like
put
that,
stuff on it and then...
Yeah.
Buckaroo, the rooting tooting bucking game.
Rootin' and a tootin'.
Sort yourself out.
Yeah. I'm going back to work.
What I also like is... so, you got the great white shark, but the only animal that is a predator of the great white shark is an orca.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Killer whale.
And it kind of makes sense. Because what else would be?
Yeah. So the boat is named Orca as it hunts
Yeah.
the killer.
It's hunting the killer, right? Right, very good.
Very clever, yeah.
Just going back to what you were mentioning earlier, Anne. John Williams got his second Oscar.
It was the second one. First one was Star Wars, right?
No,
No.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh,
in
fuck
1971
off.
with Topo.
How do you not get one for Star Wars? Seriously.
Well, Star Wars came after this, didn't it?
Came after,
Oh, it's
yeah.
afterwards, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Fuck, of course it
77.
is, Yes.
This has also been voted the sixth
But didn't this get...
greatest movie score of all time.
Wasn't this nominated for Best Picture but not Best Director?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, no, this is the bit I love.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is the bit I love,
this is it.
yeah.
I mean, this is when you first see it properly, isn't it, really?
Yeah, there it is.
Whoever thought it was going to happen,
Oh,
right?
my God.
And that look on his face as it just pops his head out the water and then goes back down.
That's everybody's look, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now he's seen the size of this fucker.
Yeah.
I always
Here it comes.
Apparently he ad-libbed that.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
That
Yeah, he
was
did,
not
yeah,
in the
yeah.
script.
Fucking
Yeah, and
amazing.
then, again, Spielberg loved it and included
Yeah.
it. The look that he just gave
Yeah.
there, I
Yeah.
always akin that to when Ray Stantz sees the ghost
Look
in
at the size
Ghostbusters.
of
He's got
it.
the fag hanging off the bottom of his lip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. What would be going through your mind seeing that on approach?
Let's head for land.
Yeah. As fast as you can carry us.
Let's get the dynamite. That's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
Dive. No, sorry.
Yeah. That's sequenced.
Fuck me.
And I love how that's all practical there as well.
Yeah.
That's a 20-footer.
25. 3 tons of it.
3 tons on
3 ton. Jeez.
Yeah.
your boat, right? Gotta get it work. How do we handle this?
Well, the actual pneumatically powered shark was 1.2 tons and was 25 feet in length.
Wow.
That's why Martha's Vineyard was actually chosen, because the ocean bed had a depth of 35 feet
Yeah.
for up to 12 miles offshore, so it was perfect for scenes that required the mechanical shark rig to be rested on the shallow ocean floor.
I love Brady's reaction. Foreground my ass! That was Spielberg's voice just then as well, wasn't it, on the radio?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right, it was, yeah.
But do you think, like we always make the joke that it's a shark doing what a shark would do and whatnot?
Yeah.
But then at the end, obviously, we all know the ending. It jumps onto the boat, and that's when it crashes the boat. Do you think that it has like a motive, like it's toying with its prey or something? Because it's like he could have just
dunno.
done that at the start and would have been like, "Yeah, I've got my food, then haven't I?" sort of thing.
I mean, we always say, that nature is as nature does, but I think that why shouldn't an animal be as intelligent as
Yeah,
us?
exactly.
We hunt as a species for fun.
Yeah.
Who's
Yes,
to say
yeah.
that
Yeah,
bloody
I mean-
shark is not doing the same?
Originally, we hunted food and stuff like that, and they're just doing exactly what we used to do. The difference is they haven't worked out how you go to Tesco's yet.
Yeah, he hasn't discovered the chum
Look at that
That's
shot.
it.
How clear
That's
that
chum
was just then.
It's right next to foreign foods and
yeah.
the crisps.
I love this music where it tensions up.
Yeah. Do you not find that's reminiscent though of like? I know this came before Star Wars, but he must have used some of these kind of
He must have got
runs
some sort of
and rhythms
Yeah.
for.
some sort of inspiration from this to go to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do you remember I said about, I think it was our favourite film scores of pieces of music from movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I said about each composer has a signature.
Yeah.
And you can hear
Yes.
that
Yeah.
signature.
The
It's the
dum dum that the
William,
stabs.
John Williams, you will always hear a little slice of everything he's done in the next score. It's always ever present. Because with John Williams, I think I said previously that he learned from Elmer Bernstein of The Great Escape.
That's right, you say, yeah.
So whenever I hear earlier pieces of John Williams' work, I always hear Elmer Bernstein's scores because it's quite militaristic, it's quite westerny as well.
Very fanfare as well.
Very fanfare, yeah, and it's the fanfare that carries through a lot of his work. Jurassic Park, E.T., Star Wars.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
They're all great tunes. But what's great is that I think you could hit a point in each piece of music and it would then turn into another piece of music.
I like this little bit of music that's playing here over the top as well. It's kind of like, it's almost saying you're relaxed, you're chilled, but there's just the lower notes just saying something's gonna happen.
Yeah, how true? Yeah, 100% on that one.
But Quinn, I mean, in himself, he's quite eerie in this.
Yeah,
because he's suddenly realised that he's a hunter who's now being hunted.
Yeah,
He's got worthy prey.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as that barrel went down, he knew then.
And when he saw it himself, he's thinking of 25 foot or 3 ton. He's thinking, now I've got something now I can that's worthy of me, sort of thing.
Boom, boom, boom. Reminiscence of Chasing Amy here, mate?
Yeah.
I fucking love that film.
I got that beat.
But you're right, it's just sword fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pissing contest.
Sword fight!
Sword fight!
But this comes back again because they do this in Lethal Weapon 3.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Yes, they do. Him and Rene Russo, isn't it?
that's
Yeah.
it.
And it can only be an homage to this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Without a doubt.
You know why? Pull me right over!
Do you reckon that's where they got the idea for Over the Top?
Probably, yeah.
Here we go, look.
It's a bull shark. He scraped me when I was taking samples.
You want to drink to your leg? I'll drink to my leg. I love how like Brody looks for like an old appendix scar or something.
See that? Belly button from the day I was born.
Yep.
I got the creme de la creme. Right here. Hold on. Hey, see that?
Right there.
Right there. Marion Moffat. She broke my heart.
Fucking brilliant.
God.
What's that one?
And I have to. This is one of my favourite scenes in this movie. This just the story alone is chilling to the bone.
And it's so sad as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you don't see the flashback. It's all just
it's
all
from his
voice.
words,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you picture it in your head.
He's recounting his own experience, but then you then place yourself in the place of the other sailors that were in the water at the time. And I truly believe something like that genuinely happened, but it's a chilling sad story.
I mean, they sort of reminiscent it in Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously not quite as horrific or
No,
sad.
but you keep starting the
it's
story as well. Yeah.
just the way she does it, and it's still chilling.
Very effective.
Very unreal.
I mean, obviously they parodied it in Gremlins too.
Yep.
Of course, well, she tried to, doesn't she? And then they stop her doing it.
Yeah.
But,
And he was in the chimney.
yeah, don't talk about Abraham Lincoln.
So this was all completely down to Robert Shaw. Wasn't in the book, wasn't in the script.
Really?
All him. He said, I've got something, I want to use it.
Well,
Yeah, went through it with Spielberg, and Spielberg went, brilliant. Let's
Do it.
record it. Let's shoot that. So this is all his own story.
So I wonder if they've been prepped and whether their reactions are just kind of...
I don't know.
Do you remember the first time you watched this scene where there is no music now
No.
It's just him.
until very like now, and then but you're still engrossed in that story. You forget
yeah,
that
yeah.
music's happening or playing. Full stop.
Well, there was nothing up until the point where he starts to get into the nitty gritty of the story.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very simply framed scene.
Yeah.
You've got Dreyfus in the background, Robert Shaw in the foreground, and it's just him talking. It's like a stage play.
But also, like you pointed out earlier, it's one of the very few scenes where the two main characters, one of them is out of focus.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
They
because it's
picked
not
the
about
focus.
him.
No, that's
Yeah.
it.
It's about him. And
Yeah.
what
But you
he's
can
saying.
still see his reaction to it
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time. Because in all fairness, they could have just done the shot without Dreyfus in there, really, couldn't they?
Yeah.
But I think this kind of goes back to the fisherman that he learned all of this from,
Yeah.
the guy that played Ben Gardner.
Ben Gardner, yeah.
And the fact that you'd go to a bar, you'd listen to these
Yeah.
people talk, you'd hear their stories, and that's exactly what they're
You
recreating.
become a local. That's what he's
Yeah.
done. He's
Yeah.
obviously sat down and spoke to this guy, and he's obviously told him tales. In fact, he may have even told him that tale.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And we get the idea that this is why he's a fisherman.
Yeah.
Because of this.
This is who I am. This is why.
This is
I
the
am
reason
who
why,
I am. Yeah. But it draws you, the audience, in now. Now you get invested in them, and you all want to go and kill that shark.
So,
So
just so
intense.
chilling,
Yeah.
man. It's unreal. Fucking hell.
But again, foreshadowing. So he's talking about a guy getting chomped through the waist.
Yeah.
What happens to him at the end?
Yep.
Ah, of course.
So his ultimate fear is what catches up with him.
Yeah.
The ultimate horror for him. And again, that's why I say it's so sad, because he talked about that thing happening, and it's probably why he's a fisherman and
Yeah.
why he does what he does, but that's what gets him in the end. Final destination.
So was it, even though this is him ad-libbing, this is an actual thing. This actually happened. This,
Well, the Indianapolis.
yeah.
The Indianapolis, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine that in the waters where it was torpedoed, that's exactly where sharks would live. And
You
I
can
truly think
Google it. It'll
This
tell you
is-
like 1,000
Yeah.
thousand sailors got eaten by sharks.
chomped.
This is not the first time it's happened either, is it? Like, there was other incidents where, like, if they went in the lifeboats, the sharks had got them.
Yeah.
I can't remember any kind of specifics, but I remember, like,
Well, obviously, part of the Second World War was fought in the Pacific, so you
Yeah.
can imagine there must have been other incidents. You know, when your ship is sinking, it's on fire and whatever, and you've got no choice but to jump into the water.
yeah,
It's like, do you die by fire, or do you jump into the water and hopefully the shark won't eat you? It's terrible.
Yeah, what a choice.
Yeah.
But what a sobering effect it had.
Again, this is parodied a lot, isn't it? This singing scene.
but Brody again
Oh,
not
here
eating
we
his
go.
dinner.
So the barrels
Yep.
was a storytelling mechanic in order to represent the shark, because
Right.
the bloody thing kept breaking down. So the scenes where they wanted to show Bruce
Yeah.
Coming through the water.
coming out of
towards-
the water, coming through the water,
Whee!
yeah, the barrels were
There
put
he
in
goes.
place when they couldn't make it work. But obviously now he's become, again,
See, now
such an iconic
instinct's
thing.
kicking into him.
He
now.
realises that the boat isn't actually on a rough sea.
Yeah.
See, the whole time that they were moving and it was moving around them, they were safe.
Makes you wonder what happened to the whale. Do you reckon it ate the whale before it went for them? Because the whale's gone now, isn't it? You don't hear it now, do you?
No.
And then the music's coming in now.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the oh shit moment.
It's here. The weird glow in the water.
Yeah.
And there's a shooting star in the background as well. There's a bit.
Yes, yeah, there is, yeah.
Appears twice, actually. There's one.
There's one. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have to be there. But it
It's
is.
going to appear again now. Like, why is it even in there?
Why is it in there, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Did it actually occur during the filming, or was it something?
Well,
he put
apparently so, but that looks very digitised for
Yeah, it goes a little bit.
like a map
in?
painting.
It would have been moving
thing,
a lot
but-
quicker than that.
But he's included it for some reason.
Yeah. Why? What's the significance of it?
I don't know.
Was
It's like
it
he was
ET?
doing some sort of space
Maybe
film.
that's when Jaws 2 lands.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There's a planet full of sharks.
It was for Dreyfus in his next starring role in Close Encounters
Close
of the Third
Encounters.
Kind.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Where he makes a giant mountain out of mashed potato.
This means something.
I do like that film. A lot of people don't like it.
No, it's
I
a great
like
film. It's a brilliant
it.
film.
I like it.
I like when Homer Simpson makes
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the mashed potato.
There's a-
going to clown college.
There's a Weird Al Yankovic film called UHF.
Yes, that's
Have
like
you seen- yeah.
yeah.
He recreates that scene, and he's sat at a table, and there's mashed potato, and he's made him out, and he goes, "This means something." And at the time, watching this film, I'd not seen Close Encounters. I had no idea. What
Yeah,
he
no
was talking
idea,
about.
yeah.
And I watched Close Encounters, I was like, "Shit."
I'll be honest. I mean, you talking about Spaced on a few episodes ago,
Yeah.
and I remember watching scenes that because there's like a whole episode that homages to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
I'd never seen it at the time, so I had
Right,
no idea
right.
what it was about up until again watched the movie and obviously realised that was the case. So
But what's funny is that I like it when that happens. When you watch something, you've got no frame of reference to
Shit,
it.
mate.
You enjoy the story. Ah, that's sharp, mate.
Yeah.
Never in a million years. Yeah, you enjoy the story, but then you watch the film.
yes, yeah,
And it's a nice feeling
you
because
click.
all of a sudden you've clicked and it's
Yeah.
yours and you own that moment. You
Yeah.
think, now I understand.
It's like you go. I remember being on the ride and the shark pops up out of the water.
Yeah.
Inside the boat. And you're like,
never get the first time on that ride. It was so good.
oh, so good.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because he's cut his hand. hasn't he?
That's just great.
Excuse me, Chief.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, boys. I think he's come back for his new
So we've only just started seeing the shark. And a lot of the storytelling has been around the fact that we don't see the shark.
Yeah.
Spielberg got creative, created many iconic scenes, things with the barrels, things with the jetty. What's interesting is that he was actually quoted as saying that Bruce, the mechanical shark, spent so much time broken at the bottom of the ocean bed that his vision of making a Godzilla movie had turned into a Hitchcock movie.
Ah, okay.
But this is where, and this goes back to what John was saying, this has now given us a thriller,
Yeah.
suspense. It's not necessarily a horror or a monster movie.
No.
It's a drama. It's got other aspects to it. And I think if it wasn't for the fact that that bloody shark kept breaking down, we probably wouldn't get the
we
type of movie
would have
that
got
we
a
had.
totally
Yeah,
different
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Because I think seeing the shark too soon would have then spoilt the rest of the film.
Well,
and,
it was
and,
meant
and it's
to.
the thing. Sorry, go on.
The shark was meant to appear within the first couple of minutes of the film.
But I'm so glad he didn't.
No, I
No,
am as
no.
well. Like, I don't think you would have had the sense of adventure either.
Yeah.
Like, the first time you physically see the jaws of the shark is
Yeah.
when he's chumming the water
Yeah.
and just
Well,
comes up behind him.
I think John got it, nailed it on the head. It's about 1 hour, 21 minutes into the film that we first
Yeah.
see the shark. And it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
It shouldn't
And
be
like,
any other way.
You know, for me, the reason Quint busted the radio is because he's like saying, "I've lived all my life to find a formidable foe, and now I've got one. I'm not going to have
He
you
wants
get
to take it
someone
down.
else
Yeah,
come and take
nobody-
it away
yeah,
from
nobody
me.
else is taking this
I'm
away
having
from me,
it, he's
yeah.
mine." So that's
He's
there's no way
Ahab,
help.
Ahab again,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
the big
yeah.
white whale.
Ahab and Moby Dick. Yeah.
But you can see by the looks on their faces, even Brody, they're now
He's loving
chasing
this,
this thing
yeah.
and they're loving it. And now
Yeah.
they realise exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And you get just enough of the shark to not believe that it's fake. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get an idea
exactly.
that it's actually a threat. It's actually a real shark.
Well, they marry it up, don't they, when Hooper makes his way into the water in the cage, and we get actual shark footage.
I like Quint's reaction to this because he's like, I've never seen a shark take down 2 barrels. And he's got like an incredible, like he says in a minute, look, that's incredible.
Well, what was it, 25 foot long?
Yeah.
Because apparently a real great white is 16, 17 feet.
Yeah.
It's not that big.
No, it's not.
That's why that is such a monster shark.
It's big enough.
It's big enough, yeah. But this is, like I was just saying with the real shark footage when he's in the water, you can see it with the real sharks as it's attacking the cage. It's not that big. But the actor the guy that went into the shark cage was a real life diver who used to dive with sharks. He was quite a small man, so he made the sharks appear bigger.
Yes.
Than they actually were.
And that's the problem with the future of shark movies now. It's always trying to top the other size of the other shark.
Megalodon and all that.
And your
the
deep blue seas and your 47 metres down and all that.
Great, but it's done. We did it with this film.
Did any of you ever see like a really early YouTube video years ago and someone had recut Jaws and it was called, what's it called again? Must Love Jaws. And they cut it to make out like Hooper and Brody were lovers of Jaws, and it was breaking their hearts. Quint trying to hunt down the shark or whatnot. It's very well edited. There's like a part at the end of the trailer where the shark kills Quint, and it's spliced up with Brody going like laughing that Quint's dying because the shark got him. It's so good. Must Love Jaws. Check it out if you ever get a chance.
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You could recut any film to fit a narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. This would freak me out if I saw this part.
Oh, that.
Like, he's eating the rope to get to them.
Yeah.
So within the context of the story, you're telling me that shark doesn't know what it's doing?
That's what I'm saying. It's like...
I think it knows it's in pain.
But I like what Mayo was saying about how it's quick cuts with the shark. It doesn't look fake.
You get just enough to kind of go...
Well, less is more, isn't it?
Which I like to believe that Ridley Scott did the same for Alien.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the deleted scenes for Alien and you see that the xenomorph just sitting there and then rise up, it looks terrible.
No,
it looks
it's the subtle drops, the flashes of it running.
Yeah.
Where it's not... It doesn't look like it's running. It's like crawling really quickly.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
like,
It's
scurrying
the less
like a
you
spider.
see of it, the scarier these things are.
Yeah, and it's the quick takes he does.
You know.
You get the effect and how he brings it to the screen.
Yeah. Because if you see the threat too much, it doesn't become a threat anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
No, it lessens the impact, doesn't it?
So you want to be scared of it. So you don't, it's like you say, like in Aliens when it's hunting them and stuff, and he's like it's in the walls, and
Coming out the goddamn walls, let's get him.
and that's it. I mean, you're there, and the fear is there. It's the same here.
But John, you mentioning the whole part of the shark not showing up to at least an hour and 20 minutes in. I get the feeling that Cameron done that with Aliens.
Yeah.
Where he's built our characters up like these three guys for the first half.
To me, that's what makes a good horror. You don't want to see the threat too soon.
Because I believe it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something until we don't see an alien in Aliens.
It's the face hugger,
Something,
isn't it? The face hugger is the kind of...
That's the first one, isn't it?
First one you see, the egg opens, jumps on John Hurt's face, and then...
No, the second one. The second one with the Marine, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, the Marine, Oh yeah, the second one you don't see anything. You see the face hugger run across the floor, don't you?
That's it, and then
that's it.
But the tension is built with the suggestion that something is there. We know what it is.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be going to see the film if you didn't know.
No, but again, we still don't need to see it because the knowledge of what's to come.
It's something that Wes Craven did really well with the Freddy films, in that, like,
Yes.
you never get a full-on Freddy for the first bit of the film. Like, almost probably I'd say the same.
He's always in
amount
the
of time.
shadows, isn't
He's
he?
in the shadows. You never see his face full on. You see, like, fingertips with it running along something.
Yes.
You see the hat. But if you look in the background, you see, like, the shirt every now and again is like the colours of the shirt or something to do with Freddy is there. And he uses that to his advantage. Like, you just see a little bit.
Hey, Tina, watch this. Now we're getting to the part where Jaws is pissed with them. He's chasing them now.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
Bruce, sorry, is chasing them.
Bruce, yeah.
That's Howard right there.
Christ.
I am Brody all day long.
Yeah.
Spielberg, years after this film, actually apologised for the detrimental societal effect it had on sharks.
Yeah.
'Cause we now fear sharks.
Didn't he pay a lot of money for like universities and that?
But he should have known, because
education, yeah.
because people will always have a fear over certain animals.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get Frank Marshall complaining about arachnophobia or apologising for that, or
I hate that film.
or or you don't get J-Lo apologising for Anaconda.
No, but I think
She should. She should.
But I think it's
Or
because
Jersey Girl.
this, yeah, I think it's because this film hit
Or
the
The
nail
Room.
on the head. Politicians, beaches, tourists, money.
Yeah.
So a film about sharks, it's like happens in this. Nobody wants to go in the water.
No one sees the real villain, which is
Exactly.
politicians and money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it was never. It was never proven that this film had that effect on people going out and hunting sharks and disliking sharks.
Yeah.
But one of his famous quotes from Desert Island Discs, he said, "One of the things I still fear is not to get eaten by a shark, but the sharks are somehow mad at me for the feeding frenzy of crazy sport fishermen that happened after 1975."
Yeah, I can understand that, but I think it's without this film, you don't get the Discovery Channel Shark Week.
No, you do not. No, you
no.
wouldn't at all.
And you think, I mean, this film spawned so many like water threats, shall we say? Not
Piranha.
just sharks. Yeah, exactly,
Do you know,
piranha.
which is an awful film, but at the same time, it's a good film. It, like,
But I mean, we've looked at Alien.
Yeah.
Alien is essentially Jaws in space,
I was just about to say that, minus the water.
minus the water.
yeah, 100%.
Replace it with a vacuum of space.
Yep.
And the music kind of like, it's a hollow victory that they've survived.
Yeah. But that's something else John Williams does well, and we talked about it in Raiders with the Marion's theme part of the Raiders March. There you had Quint's little... he's very, very well done. Timely. I think he's now kind of admitting defeat.
Yeah, but I think he's already resigned at this point to the fact that he's not coming off the boat alive, because he gives them the life vests and he just sits there looking kind of beaten.
But also, I think there's a bit of admiration because he knows that this shark is potentially beating him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he knows from there he's defeated.
Yeah.
Get this little needle through his skin? No, I can't do that. But if I can get him close enough to this cage, I think I can...
Oh, God.
You got any better suggestions?
I love how they still got time to assemble a shark cage whilst the boat sinking.
Favourite A-team scene ever.
Surely this would have taken a good day or two to build this fucking cage, right?
Meanwhile, Bruce is
MacGyver,
sat in the water
isn't it?
laughing at him.
Yeah. It's
going,
MacGyver.
MacGyver.
He's got the suit on again quite quickly. Do you reckon he wears that underneath the clothes like
probably. He'd have to,
Superman?
wouldn't he?
Or he's just got, an investment in talcum powder. That's how he can stick it on and off.
As long as it's not that scene from Friends where Ross wears his...
The leather pants.
It's turned to a paste!
I mean, I can't swim, and there was no fucking way you would get me in there.
Oh, I love the water. I love swimming.
I wish I had the guts to do it, to be honest, because it's like I'd love to skydive as well, but I'm never ever going to be doing that either.
Would you skydive into the water, John?
Into shark-infested water.
Shark-infested water, yeah.
Sharks in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, shark. Fuck that.
I'd do it Fonzie style. You know, I'd jump the shark.
Jump the shark.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's where it comes from. That's where that phrase comes from. Happy days.
Nice. Which you mentioned in the show that influenced you.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh. But yeah, this is definitely something I'd like to do.
Do you think like Brady thinks that this is the last he might see of him?
I think Brody, you can see it in his eyes.
Look at his face. Yeah.
There's a dad look on his face. I don't think you should be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the right thing to do.
But even the part that was like, no, I don't think we should do this. Maybe bring him back up.
But
It's like a resistance in him, isn't it?
But I think also like the mistakes that he's made at the beach where he didn't put his foot down. I think he's also at this point going like,
Yeah.
if I don't tell you to stop, like, and he's going through his head, do I make you stop? Do I not make you stop? Is this the last thing we do?
Yeah.
But also I think he's also checking the cage, going, did we put this thing together right?
Yeah.
You know, I know there's a couple of bits missing left over here, like a Lego set. Did these things go?
There's
in
always
there?
some parts
Yeah.
left over, isn't there?
It's like proper IKEA
Shit,
style.
where do these screws go?
Yeah.
I love how we get to see the full size of him now,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
we?
against him,
Look at those.
fucking massive.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that water would be brown now.
Yeah, definitely.
We got a shark repellent. We got a cold brown.
Nope.
No.
I love the shot. Even though it's a real shark, I love how it just fades
Disappears
into the blue.
dark, yeah. If you've ever watched any of the documentaries, like on the old National Geographic and all that, you see that that's what sharks tend to do. They tend to just disappear into the blue, and then all of a sudden they appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weird thing in this is like there's one, but in real life there's
Here
one.
we are.
Then there's two. Jesus.
I
Clever
don't
girl.
think it doesn't matter how used you
And
are
he had
Yeah, it drops the
to sharks.
you
That would just
dumbass.
yeah.
your arsehole would just drop out of your body, wouldn't it?
Fucking hell, yeah.
Oh, my arsehole would be pinching a lot out right now.
Look at the
nipping one
fucking
off.
hole it's left, look. He has got no chance.
What happened when you saw a shark? Liquid ass.
Oh, dear.
I'm right here. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah.
The fear is real.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're doing up on the orca. Just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no! He's in a cage with a shark.
Oh,
Fucking
Screw that.
But have you seen any of the like?
why
the,
haven't they pulled it up? They must know that.
have you not seen any of the like cage failures?
No.
There's cage failures
I
with
don't
the
think I
shark.
want to because it'll put me off doing it.
Oh, the shark ends up in the cage with the person, like just slips
no.
through the air.
No.
that shit.
I mean, they're not
Well,
great whites;
he's
they're
in a
like reef
freezer.
sharks and stuff like that. But
So this was the scene where Hooper was meant to die.
Oh,
Right.
understandably,
I can
yeah,
get
this-
that, yeah.
You screwed my wife. Die.
I'm leaving you down there. Yeah.
Does Brody ever find out in the book that he slept with?
I've never read the book.
Oh, okay.
And I had the book.
Oh,
Like,
did
for
you?
the longest time, yeah.
I'm considering
yeah.
reading it, you know, now.
Never read it.
No.
Because I like a lot of these, audio books. Oh, shit.
Oh, look at that.
And I've just finished listening to The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Okay.
actually read by William Peter Blatty, the guy that wrote the book.
He actually reads
He
it out.
actually narrates the whole book.
Nice.
And it is fascinating because he's able to put the spin on the different characters and stuff, so you really feel. Whereas I've started listening to the audio book, the first one, For the Strain, the the one that Guillermo del Toro
The
done.
TV series,
and the first book is read by Ron Perlman. Now, I like Ron Perlman as an actor, but he cannot fucking narrate a book.
No.
It's just...
Here we go.
It's just not right.
Fucking hell.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Now that we've come to the end of still again, let go. It's unnatural.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is another part I used to have to watch away as a kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
How terrifying that massive jaw trying to bite you off.
Yeah. And like you said, he's after telling him that story, that's his biggest fear, isn't it?
It's that part when he spits the blood out. It's like, fucking hell. Yeah.
He's still trying to stab that shark.
That's it, he's gone.
Which I never noticed he did that.
Yeah.
And I used to have like a figurine set that redone that scene. And the figure you put into the shark, he holds the machete. And that's how I knew it from that. And then obviously going back and rewatch it, oh shit, he does actually try and stab it.
Gets a good hit.
Giving it a good old go.
Oh, look at that.
The eye on that.
I love
as
how
well.
you see bits of Quint in the jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a genius move from Brody here.
It's a good thing the shark didn't swallow the tank. Otherwise it'd be buggered.
It might have been better if he had.
Well, this is the big difference between the book and the films, because in the book, the shark just dies from its wounds. Being stabbed and shot and God knows what else. It just dies naturally. It just
I don't think that would have worked in this, though, would it?
No, much
you
better.
needed that big cinematic ending.
Yeah.
And this was one of the things that Peter Benchley got bent out of shape about. He said, no, that's not my book.
No.
Spielberg was, it has to happen.
Yeah, but you signed that off when you sold the rights.
Yeah,
You can't have any...
Yeah.
Because there's one thing for it to be a book, but now this is going to be a film that's going to be in the cinema.
But also with the technology they had at the time, how do you give the shark a kind of humanity?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, guys, there's a bit in a minute where we see the shark rise up.
Yeah.
And it used to terrify me because if you look at his eyes, it's actually kind of like white, terrifying eyes. This bit now. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
He's more menacing looking, isn't he?
I mean, for all of its problems, that model, that puppet...
It's pretty convincing.
And
the shots they take and the angles they take it, like...
Can you imagine being in the water with that thing?
Oh.
I don't want to, that's my point.
No.
Even the robot would just freak me out a little bit. But sharks, when they bite anyway, are scary as fuck because their eyelids roll back.
They roll back, don't they?
Yeah, to protect themselves.
Because they've got several rows of teeth. It's not just one row of teeth.
Yeah. Here we go.
Just chewing away there.
Yeah.
Just love this line. It's so
iconic
good.
line coming up.
His reaction is timeless, though. It's just, yes!
And you would, wouldn't you?
That
Having
shark
gone through all of that.
Yep.
As that shark explodes, you can hear a faint kind of roar as it explodes.
Yeah.
That roar is the sound of the truck going off the cliff in Jewel.
From Jewel, yes!
Oh,
My word.
And now there's a good film, Jewel.
Another silent protagonist.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, antagonist.
Or was the truck just doing what nature does?
Yeah, what every truck does.
Of course it was.
This is like the horror film you were talking about the other time, the tire or whatever it was.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking
Rubber,
that.
rubber,
yeah.
I'm
You
just thinking
have
that
to
rubber.
watch
Just
Rubber.
doing what a wheel does.
Yep.
Yep.
We
Bouncing
should watch it
along the
before.
road,
No reason.
Exploding
Maybe.
heads for
Yep.
no reason.
minding his own business.
Just doing what a wheel does.
Just telepathically blowing people's heads
Yeah,
off.
of course. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Because he thought he died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, sigh of relief, isn't it?
And a little bit of humour, a laugh, just 'cause you can't believe it.
Well, it's shock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, there's at the end of Deep Blue Sea, there's a part where LL Cool J says to Thomas Jane, "Can I ask you something? Are you sure it was just three sharks?"
Yeah.
And this sort of situation, if
Well.
Hooper said to that, Are you sure it
Sure,
was
it's
just the one shark?
Yeah. It does make you think, doesn't it?
But he's looking around really scared as well.
Well, he's the shark guy. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And as he said throughout the whole film, there's always the possibility.
I can't imagine why. Oh, what a movie, mate.
Yeah.
What a movie.
good.
So good.
And
I love how they're still in shot as well.
Yeah, the whole time.
Just coming
and
into
they
the
make
shore.
it to the beach as the credits finish. But what I like about this film is that you watch a modern day film now, how long are the credits? 16 minutes, 17, 18, 19,
more than
20
that.
minutes?
Isn't there 25 minutes at the end of Lord of the Rings?
This is 25
Yeah.
minutes. Right. This is all literally over within a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, like a very old style film, isn't it?
And this is all of the people
That were
Yeah.
involved.
that were really involved on the
Yeah.
making of this film.
It seems like nowadays with CGI and stuff, you need like hundreds of people to give you the same effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think, really? Well, guys, they were doing it with like 50 people years ago.
Yeah. The longest list is the people that appeared in it.
I was going to say the longest list is all the actors.
All
in
the
it,
actors, yeah.
But then it's
The
pretty much
cast.
over by, like you said, in a few seconds. But no, thanks for doing that, guys. I really enjoyed
That
that.
was really good.
No
Nice
thanks
to go back
needed.
to it.
No,
No,
definitely.
No thanks needed, mate. It's
I
yours.
swear, John, we'll do one of your films. I promise.
Don't worry, man. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's been a while since I saw this, and it was
Yeah.
nice to see it in 4K. I mean, I was going to say to be able to see it properly.
Yeah.
I don't mean it like that. I mean in the sense that it's nice to see it clear.
It's
Yeah.
Because I think
done in 4K.
It's nice to see an old movie
Yeah,
pop
it's
without
done- it's done
grain
it
and
justice.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
You know, they've done
Film
it, they've done it
defects
justice.
or anything. Yeah, it's just they've cleaned it up. But
Yeah.
fully, it's so good.
but no, thanks, guys. And let's end it there, shall we?
Yeah, yeah.
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 Why
So,
not?
guys, if you like what you listen to, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B Podcast, on Instagram at M.T.V.B Podcast, on TikTok at M.T.V.B Podcast 197, or on
YouTube at the M.T.V.B podcast.
no 2024 anymore. Just
2024.
Oh,
The,
excellent.
They are official.
definitive.
Very
definitive
nice.
official channel.
Yes, go for it.
But yeah, guys, check those out, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.